Welcome everyone to Good Friends, Good Games. It is August 27th, 12:10 p.m. on the West Coast, 3:10 p.m. over on the East. This is episode 6. Whoa, I did not fix this at all. Let's fix this real quick.
Good God.
Yeah, good
That's
God.
exactly
Let's fix
how it should look.
This is exactly how it should look. No, it should not.
Welcome to the Fuck It Doing It Live podcast.
Welcome
Eric's
to
our
the
host.
chaos.
I have nothing to do with this.
Why is
I
my
had everything to do with
webcam
this.
look? What the hell? Look at my webcam's like double faced. I don't know why.
Well, now you have to do this for the rest of the podcast. It's the rules.
Let's see what I can. Let's see what I can do here. What the hell happened?
Just zoom in on your eyebrows. That's all you have to do.
There we
The
go.
eyebrows.
There we fixed that.
There we
What the hell was that? Welcome to the Fuck It. Do it the whole way we always do. I knew I forgot something. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my meds and everything and make sure I'm not sneezing and like blowing boogers all over the screen live. But for those that are listening right now or watching us, I am fighting allergies today. I'm not sick. I'm just fighting allergies. So if I repeatedly turn my camera off or go mute or whatever, it's to either sneeze or wipe the shit off my face. So as a beautiful picture as that is, but hopefully my voice is holding up okay. So we'll do good. But guys, welcome back. I got a big deal to my virtual left.
Stop.
And then Zenith, because he was last again, he's on the bottom.
Hey, there's nothing
Hi.
wrong with being a bottom bitch.
He's
Oh.
always the bottom bitch.
One time he was
probably
on
knows that
top.
best.
There was an episode or two back where he was on top. He lived
Bottom.
dangerously.
Next time I'll just be in here like 10 a.m. my time.
Crack of dawn. We're all
Oh.
sleeping still. Oh, here we go. Zen's bottom confirmed. The chat's getting ready to start pulling in.
There you go.
That's it. I'm never
Chat
advertising
knows.
this podcast again.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. If you're watching us on twitch.tv, welcome. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff, your podcast listening of choice, we appreciate that as well. We're glad to have you here. Gentlemen, how was your past couple weeks? Anything exciting happen?
Busy, and I actually finished a game recently, so yay.
Whoa. You finished a game?
Yeah, I finished the game.
Nice. I haven't finished a game in months. Months. How are you doing down there, Zenith? What have you been up to this past couple weeks?
Oh, too much. Like I got new emotes. I got new stuff that I'm trying to add for my the merch storm. I'm learning to speedrun Mario 64.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Just so much. I can't even remember what's happened in the last couple of weeks.
When do you sleep?
What's
Oh,
that?
coffee is the answer to that question.
Coffee, exactly.
I was reading Dave Grohl's biography. He actually had to go to the hospital because he was getting chest pains, right? And he thought he was having a heart attack. Apparently, it was his level of caffeine that he was consuming.
Oh.
I consume a lot of caffeine. Full disclosure, I will be completely honest here. I consume a lot of caffeine.
Do I need to get Pal to keep an eye on you?
I have already had that discussion. My energy
Yes.
drink consumption was put on
Good.
a restriction. I mean,
Good.
on an average week, it was literally an energy drink a day.
Damn.
Sometimes it was 2. Depending on if it was a workout day, there would be a pre-workout. And now those that don't know, good energy drinks will have about 250 milligrams of caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
Monsters and stuff are kind of weak in terms of the caffeine front, but you get into your C4s and Bang and Rockstar and stuff like that. Those are 250 milligrams. Some of them have 3. Most pre-workouts have 3 to 350 milligrams of caffeine in them. So that's 600 calories or 600 grams of caffeine I'm consuming just off those 2, right? And then on average, I'll have a couple cups of coffee and a couple Diet Cokes here and in there. So I drink a lot of caffeine. I consume a lot of caffeine. I'm working on it. But
speaking of
go ahead.
Speaking of caffeine, I just got an email, and I'm going to be partnered by Rogue Energy. So,
for real?
Congrats!
Yeah.
Congrats, man!
So
More
I get to
caffeine.
be on that. Yes, more caffeine in my body.
Rogue Energy. That one sounds familiar to me.
Yeah,
it's.
Are they more gamer oriented or are they like fitness? Oh yeah, Rogue.
Gamer oriented. I know a couple of my friends that are Twitch they're partnered by it. And you know they say that it's pretty good. Like G Fuel's the one thing that got me, like, not sponsored. G Fuel is the one thing that got me through the very first TwitchCon where I first met you, Eric, because I had no energy and it was the only way I could do it because I couldn't drink coffee.
Wasn't there
Bang Energy
the one
was
that
one
we
year.
went to? The one we went to, Eric. There was like a dispenser for G Fuel booth where you could literally like get a little cup and get like a dispenser of G Fuel.
That was, I think that's the one Zena's talking about. And then there was one year, I think it was one of the San Diego years where like Bang Energy was down there, and they were just giving away cans of Bang. I drank like 3 of those a day during the con.
Damn.
I was like, Jesus. But
yeah,
good for you,
there's
man.
Thomas.
Good for you, man. What do we got here?
Thank you.
We have cherry limeade, blood orange, black cherry,
Ooh.
sour candy.
Yep. I asked for sour candy and grape popsicle.
Nice.
Blue raspberry. Ooh, that's that. Blue raspberry's always been good to me.
We had tried the Ghost Ninja Turtle collab. I think, well, Dill might be a little young for this one, but Zenith, I think, might remember. But remember back when the Ghostbusters was huge and they had the Ecto Cooler, the High-C Ecto Cooler?
Yes. Oh, I remember that.
That's what this tastes like. And I was like, yeah, just give me sugar. But, so back to Dave Grohl. So I drink a lot of caffeine, right? And I thought I was crazy. Dave Grohl was being honest with the doctor, and he said, I can hit up to 5 pots of coffee a day.
Jesus.
Throughout the course of the day. Now, your average cup of coffee has about 70 to 80 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's like when he's in the studio and like not actually on tour, because it's kind of hard for Dave Grohl to go out on stage and be like, sorry, I gotta make a cup.
Yeah. Like, well, just have a guy like, you know, when you're that huge, there's just a guy that runs on stage and just puts the cups of coffee on the drum riser or whatever, or your drink or whatever. But like, yeah, he was drinking like, he would wake up, get through a pot of coffee or whatever before he starts his day, and then he would go down to the studio and the process would repeat. Now you're probably thinking like, how does one consume 5 pots of coffee a day? Well, if you think about it, most people carry around things like this. You've seen them now. Most people carry around those big Starbucks cups filled with coffee or whatever. You think about it, it's not hard. Yeah, see, just like Zenith has right there, it is not hard to get through a couple of these in a day.
I have a glass.
Yeah, it is not hard to get through a couple of these a day if you're not paying attention. Yeah, seriously.
No one.
Is that one of the shakers or is that a whole different shaker?
That is for Juju. A friend of mine is partnered by them, so and he gave me that for free.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
So, good for you, man. Well, let us know how the blues raspberry and the sour candy taste. I saw one in the store because I go to the GNC or whatever, and I saw one that was literally the Sonic. I don't know if they have Sonics in Canada or the UK, but Sonic, and it's the blue slushy. And I'm like, ocean water. That's what they call it. Sonic's ocean water.
I've actually tried the ocean water. We actually don't have a Sonic up here. The only time I went was when I was staying in New York for a few days.
How was
I tried
New York?
one. New York was great, but I had the best but also worst experience because we get there to the hotel and this one guy, I was actually just telling this story yesterday because we were just getting checked in our hotel. We were like on the very tip of New Jersey because that's where our hotel was, and this one guy, while we're trying to get settled for a room, he's like, what is this? And it's a picture of a credit card sign, and the guy, the concierge, was like, that's the thing where you can set up for a new credit card. And then he goes back to like talking to us, and he's like, well, I want it. It's like, well, you know, you're just gonna have to wait. And then he just starts walking away from this with the sign. It's like, no, I need that. It's like, but I want it. No, you can't have the sign. We're giving out the credit card, not the sign. And then it's, well, I really want this. It's like, no, you can't have this site. What? You're an idiot. And then the guy got so upset, he basically ran right past me, shoved everything off the concierge's desk, and they had to like wait for like police to show up and basically like just kick him out.
They're like, sir, please don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
If that were to happen in the UK, he'd get punched. Like
Yeah,
he would, the person would probably just punch them in the face.
Oh yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my experience.
That sounds awful.
We were so tired too, because like we drove all the way from Toronto to New York, and let me tell you, it's like a 10.5-hour drive.
Let's talk about the we've talked about Dave Grohl's caffeine consumption and my caffeine consumption, which is out of control.
I'm neutral, I guess. I don't really drink coffee or tea, so.
But do you drink sodas? Are you a soda drinker? Like a
Pepsi Max.
How do you stay so thin drinking a big old chug of Pepsi like that?
I work in hospitality. I walk around a lot.
Oh, that's true. They walk everywhere.
Yeah, literally the only reason why I'm still thin, I think, is because I literally work between like 5 to 10 hours in hospitality per shift. I do 5 shifts a week.
If I drank as much as you, Dill, like in terms of regular soda, I would be fatter than I already am.
I do balance it out with water as well. I don't like completely go through like a big 3-liter bottles of Pepsi. I do balance it out.
Yeah, like here in America, people drink soda like it is water.
Well, yeah.
I used to, but like I work for Coca-Cola head office, and like you just show up to the front of
tell me they have the thing.
Yes, they have a fountain, and all you do is just take a cup and you just keep pouring.
Okay, before we go on to the games, I need to know this. You may be able to divulge the secret or not, but if you can't, just say so. Does McDonald's get their own special blend of Coca-Cola?
Oh, do they?
That I wouldn't know, because I just worked in the records department.
Okay, I see. Because supposedly the rumor is Coca-Cola gets their own like blend. And if you go like to, I don't know about the UK and Canada, but like in the US, McDonald's has the best tasting Coke.
Okay.
Out of the fountain. And we don't know if they get like, it's always been some kind of rumor that they get their own special blend.
Yeah. I think what it is they customize their own like how much like syrup that they like. Right. Obviously, like the syrup is what you get to try and produce the soda, and they insert like enough concentrate to kind of make it where it's like either too watery or really strong. So McDonald's probably pumps out as much of that shit as possible.
Yeah, it is nuts. I mean, sometimes if I'm in the mood for like a Coke, I don't drink much, regular soda anymore. But if I do, I'm in the mood for it. McDonald's is it. Like drive through, get that McDonald's Coca-Cola, and you get that sugar hit, and you're like there's something about it. I don't know what it is. It's like Sonic and Costco with the ice. They have the best ice in the business, and In-N-Out. But let's talk about some video games, yeah?
Okay.
Sounds like a slow week for all three of us. We've all been kind of doing some relaxation and time off, it sounds like. We were all just kind of chilled out on video games a little bit, but we got some stuff we're going to talk about here. Let us see. So, Zenith is working on some Super Mario 64 speedrunning.
Yep.
What enticed you to start speedrunning?
Well, it was a sub goal, and it took all of like 2 days to hit it, I think. Actually, nice. I forget how long it took. And essentially, because like there's like a buddy of mine who does like a bunch of Mario 64 speedrunning, and like, man, this looks so much fun, but it's also so insane because he does 120 star speedrunning for Mario 64. And he does it within like less than 2.5 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Like, you know how do you guys remember the stage Dire Docks, right? From Mario 64?
Vaguely.
I've only played the game once, so
I vaguely remember. Mario 64 is one of those ones I never finished.
Oh, okay.
I did finish it at least, but I only played it recently. You know when the Nintendo released that 6-month game of the trio of like 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy.
Right, the 3-pack.
I have one. I have that, and that's how I played it, like all of the games.
I gotcha.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's like for Mario 64, like I won't be doing like 120 star speedrunning because
most
like
speedrunners don't, right? Like the goal is it 85? I think it is, or something.
The goal is 16 stars.
Wait, that's how long? How many it takes to like get to Bowser and finish it?
Yep.
16,
Yep.
1-6.
That's all.
1-6.
I thought it was more
Only
than
16.
That.
I can't remember how many I actually got on my playthrough.
Because
definitely.
I know a trick. Well, I learned a trick where you can essentially glitch into where you fight Bowser the second time, and then the third time you basically just long jump through the door.
Yeah, that's the glitch where you can like jump backwards up the stairs until you get. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I had to learn that.
Yeah.
So, and I think my buddy, he's like, you can like if you do a 16 stars Mario 64 speed run, you can finish it within about 25 minutes, maybe half an hour, if you're about as rusty as me.
Okay, so without the glitch, it's 70 stars.
Yes.
To finish the game without the glitch. So you glitched up. I've seen the glitch you're talking about where like he just bounces in reverse up the stairs, right? And like portals into wherever.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen this. Okay, yeah. If you want 100% it, it is 120 stars.
Yeah. That one, my buddy's going to teach me. I'm actually going to be doing this tomorrow. So
are you doing this on an actual N64, or are the glitches like in the Switch versions and whatnot?
No, because like I can't find my N64 anymore. So I'm going to be doing this on the Yar Har Har, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the Yar Har Har.
Oh, I'm not.
Gotcha. So, but you are So you are using a core build of the game.
Yes.
To do the original OG. I always thought the Nintendo affected that, like because I've seen every speedrun I've seen they're doing it on an N64.
Nope. My buddy when he does his runs, like he just presses like a button that first sets, and then he just boots up his timer right away. So and it counts because like a lot of things they count for. If it's emulated, as long as it's running as like it's not modded, because like a lot of the Nintendo, let's call it, would like if say you're playing Ocarina of Time, you go into a place where it would usually like lag because of like so many enemies or whatever the heck is going on. Even if you're playing the Nintendo, it's going to do the exact same thing, so that you're not really compromising the integrity of the game through Nintendo methods.
Right. Huh. Okay. So it's of course and 64. What was the other thing I was going to say here, cuz I know someone did when the Switch version came with the 3-pack that Bill's talking about. Some speedrunner was also able to recreate all the glitches and stuff. So it looks like it's just a dropped ROM on that disc.
Literally.
They left everything in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which makes sense, because why are they going to go through the effort?
They're
not
just jumbled
remastering
3 games together, put it on a cartridge, and go, there you go, have it for 6 months.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that makes sense. Okay, cool. So, like, are you finding... I've learned, like, when I watch speedrunners, because, like, speedrunners are a fascinating group of people. It's not that they're, like, godlike experts at games. It's just they just practice and do the same thing repetitive over and well, this is adorable. Pikachu.
Someone in
the chat dropped it about the Pikachu. Is that a British only?
No, this is actually something I got from a community member of mine. They literally like sent me this. They found it in Hong Kong, I believe.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's so adorable.
It is. It's Beefeater Pikachu.
Do they actually not move? Like, is that still a thing? Like when you try and talk to them? Like, no, not the Pikachu, like the actual like castle guards or whatever.
They are allowed to move now. It depends on the conditions, really, in which they get treated.
So, what's the official title for those? Do they have like a specific name or something?
I just know them as beef eaters. That's it.
Beef eaters, okay.
Yeah, that's their like nickname, but they have an official title. But I don't know. I don't care too much to really delve into royal family business to know their actual title.
I just live here, and it's kind of my culture. Who cares?
Exactly. I mean, if you ever came to the UK and asked us about the royal family, we'll just say, we don't give a shit. Half the time,
they're just a figurehead. They're just there. They're
kind of just there. They just haven't been there since like what, the 1500s.
They're a living, breathing version of the American flag. That's basically
literally.
Yeah,
literally. Anyway, what we're talking
It's literally like us with Justin Bieber. We know that he's from here, but we don't care.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
Pal's gonna get mad. She loves Bieber.
Oh, I hope she's in chat.
I didn't care about Bieber either growing up, so like
that poor kid. You know what though? That guy's lived like a whole life of just constant in the people's eye. Like that poor kid can't do anything.
No,
he can't go to like get a sandwich or something without getting hounded. You imagine if you're just driving on the freeway or something, or like on the road, and you gotta like stop and piss. You can't even stop and piss because it's gonna end up on like TMZ. Bieber pisses at Subway. Like you just like you can't even do that. Like God, But So back to the speedrun. Like speedrunners are like fascinating people. Like they're not godlike at games. They're literally they practice the same thing over and over.
Yeah, they're godlike. They practice it over and over and over until they become gods.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'll take it very methodical,
right,
and repetitive. But like, as long as you know how things work and like even have like use little tricks, there's this one where you normally have to blast like the corner of a fortress wall off, and that takes some time. But like using this little camera trick where the game fools you into doing like this weird 180 where instead of like stopping on a dime immediately, Mario will do this like little maneuver, and he'll just collect the star because it's like the exact moment in time that he's able to like clip into it and get it himself. So like that, I don't have the precision unless if I use like little just tricks, but you have to like do it like right on a dime. Otherwise you fail.
Yeah, it's like you said, is methodical. Are you gonna like now? Has this like got you all in on speedrunning? Are you gonna try other games or
no?
No, it's not for
you. People should have seen me when I was like practicing these. Like I was like, oh cock shit, that's fucking.
I can't do this.
No.
Is speedrunning, like, is it easy to get into as well? I have been tempted. The only games that I feel like I could actually potentially speedrun is Pokemon games, since I've played them so much.
I'm trying to think.
So basically with speedrunning, it's easy. It's easy to get into because you can see it because it's like, hey, I can be pretty fast. I can as long as I practice, it becomes a lot of fun. But it's like what I was really noticing because I used to do randomizer speed runs with a bunch of different friends, and when you just see so many other people like do a lot better than you, or if you make a mistake that nobody else did, then you get so discouraged, and then you just kind of forget to have fun with the game, and that's kind of something that I stopped doing. That's why, like, when I do my randomizer runs, I don't even time myself anymore because I just want to just stop and like talk to people.
Yeah, it's one of those things too, where it's like I've seen how people do it. It's not like they play the whole game over and over to get there and do it faster. If you watch like speedrunners on Twitch or YouTube or wherever your choice is, you'll see that they have some kind of counter on the screen somewhere, and they break the game down in sections.
Yeah.
So like they'll break down, like we'll take for example like The Last of Us. They'll speedrun The Last of Us, the intro. The intro. They mark their best time for the intro. and then they'll do the next section, like getting out of the fireflies or whatever. They'll mark that section, the snow section. They'll like mark it down in sections, and then the whole point is they'll go through each section and try to beat the personal times of each section. And then theoretically, I think, I may be wrong, and as a speedrunner can correct me, but at the end of the day, when you add up all the times, you should get your final tally of how long it took you to beat the game.
Yeah. The splits are also like a good gauge of like to kind of figure out how well you're doing. Like, for example, if you want to talk about, say, what's the area like Boston? Because I'm thinking about like Last of Us, so to try and
the
Boston
the gym
area.
the gym with I think his name was Robert, if I remember right.
Yeah, so like that entire area, like that would be like one split, and so like even if you set like a personal best, but like you have like a really bad area, then sometimes like with splits it's like okay, so I had a really bad segment over here in like at the very beginning, but at the same time, like I'm making ground in Boston, so like sometimes you want to try and like do better on your splits, because like even if you're having like a really good split, like anything can happen, and you can also make up ground, because I've seen people where it's like, man, that was like not really good at all, I'm falling behind, but then I'll see them just catch right up and manage to actually set a personal best, as long as they're do well on their splits afterwards.
Yeah,
so it's very fascinating.
I'm very intrigued then to see, with the remake coming out, the Last of Us Part 1 remake, then we're keeping on that, what speedrunners will do with that game, if there's anything that they will change to benefit or to hold back speedrunners of that game then, because, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see.
Which reminds me, that is, I think,
end
this
of the next week.
Yeah,
end of next week.
I'll probably be picking that up and playing it for...
I'll be either wait for it to go on sale or go on PC.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'll probably be picking up so we can do something with it on the channel here. We'll do some impressions with it or something. But yeah, I'm looking at the chat.
Sorry.
Resident Evil is actually very popular speedrun. A lot of people speed that run. So...
I just read that same, yes.
They're talking about Resident Evil 8 and Ms. Big Tatas.
The Queen.
Yeah, Ms. Big Tatas or whatever.
When's the VR version of that coming out? We need it now.
Yes,
it's the only way to save humanity.
Milkers, please.
Dill is the only one in this thing that has admitted he wants to do Resident Evil 8 VR.
Yes.
That game's going to be a problem. I know it. It's that
VR.
VR.
After Lady Dimitrescu Castle, no. Especially there's a certain part, no.
That was a great game.
It was.
Yeah, Resident Evil 8.
I look forward to the DLC for that coming out in October.
Oh yeah, there's DLC coming. Are they charging for that?
Wait,
it depends if the version you got. If you got the gold version, it comes with
okay,
that.
They're doing that whole thing. So if I bought base game, I'm paying $20 for it or whatever.
Yeah, I bought like the deluxe version, and I don't get it included, which kind of sucks, honestly. But it's
just charge me $80 for the damn game. Like I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast, but the whole like base game, collector's edition, just charge me the full price of the game. If the game's $100, but I get all the DLC when it comes, that's fine.
Actually, hang on one sec. I need to show something.
Oh, okay. Why am I afraid?
Oh wait, they did announce DLC. I completely missed this.
I missed the DLC thing too. Oh, look at that.
I got this for my birthday.
Speaking of birthdays, I just had a birthday too.
Wait, what?
My birthday was the 15th.
Did I remember to tell you happy birthday?
No, it was okay. No.
You sure?
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Actually, this is the first... Okay, so I'll have a little full disclosure before we talk about Final Fantasy that Zine is playing.
I just saw right here on the DLC, because I looked at PlayStation.com, but apparently, because like some people weren't a fan of the fact that Resident Evil Village was first person, but this DLC
is getting
third person.
That's right.
Yeah,
that sounds so cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing a playthrough.
Okay,
person.
that's worth $20 to play the game over in first person.
You get that, the DLC for Rose, and some additional characters in mercenary mode.
Okay, I'm for it. But okay, so DLC for Resident Evil and Last of Us, that will be my new entries for gaming this next week or two. But so yeah, I did have a birthday. The past couple years, I would get kind of bummed out over the happy birthday messages and stuff like that. Like if people didn't, mess with me, I felt kind of left out and alone.
This year, told me, man.
No, it's okay. I'm explaining here. So this year, I realized you know what? It's okay. It's a birthday. It's another day. For those of you that don't know, I am 39.
Happy belated birthday.
You guys are.
Was it even on Twitter? Because
no, that's all I'm feeling.
I usually pay attention to when there's announcements.
I don't know. Did I not get? I didn't look to see if I got the balloons or anything.
I'm checking your Twitter right now.
Well, it's not going to have it now. It was the 15th.
It's on your Twitter account. There should be something.
But
what if we were secretly hosting a birthday party for you?
No, there wasn't a single tweet that you made about your birthday.
Is there going to be a stripper dressed like the Resident Evil 8 mommy milker lady?
I'd buy it.
Every year I tell Hannah, don't leave the house because the stripper's going to be there at 6. And she's like, no. And then I was like, just 1 year, let it happen. Just invite him to play Final Fantasy 14 with you or something. Just don't let my money go to waste.
Yeah.
But I will show you. We got a gift from Pal that was pretty awesome that relates to this channel. So give me 1 second while I bloop that camera there.
Oh, never mind.
Shit. I did the wrong thing. Okay, hold on. We'll just reach over here.
He's not wearing pants, guys.
He got our legs out.
So I'm gonna gush about my girlfriend here a little bit. All right.
Okay.
So first thing,
that's legs.
Pal goes on about how she has a box of GameCube games, but they don't have the system anymore. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, well, if you have GameCube games and you don't have the system anymore and you don't want the games anymore, you could get some money for some of it depending on what you have, right? So she sends me this list of games, right? And she's like, are any of these worth anything?
Oh.
So if you guys are listening right now on the Apple or whatever, I'm holding up Legend of Zelda: The Four Swords Adventures.
Okay.
This is a rare one. If you don't know about GameCube collecting right now, GameCube is insane expensive right now.
Mm-hmm.
Insane expensive. Especially Zelda stuff. Everything I paid for back in the day, 5-6 years ago, I paid about $30 to $40 each. Everything's over $90 now.
Yeah.
In terms of Zelda on GameCube. It's all getting expensive. So she goes, oh, do you need this? And I'm like, yes, I need this. This is one of the ones I'm missing. And I was like, yes, I need that. And she was like,
wait,
oh,
does
okay.
Eric, does she have any Pokemon GameCube games?
No, she doesn't. We looked through the thing.
Oh, you...
Yeah, I got mad too. I was like,
if she had Gales of Darkness XD, I would pay however any much money just to own that.
So I got super excited and I was like, I'll be honest with you, I need it, but if you want to go, trade it or whatever and get something for yourself, no hard feelings. The game will come again at some point, right? So it's wrapped up for my birthday and it's got, everything's in there. It's got the manual. It's even got the what do they call it? The safety card, this game may cause seizures and all that kind of stuff, and the disc is clean. And then it has this cute little note that says, I'm glad I was unexpectedly able to contribute to your collection. So I'm very, very excited to have this. I love her to the moon and back because she does great things like this. So I am one or two away from the complete GameCube set.
Nice.
The only one I am missing is the one that came with it was both Master Quest. It was both Ocarina of Times in one GameCube disc. It had Ocarina and the Master Quest all on one disc.
Wasn't it split into two discs because of space?
Maybe. I don't know
I
yet.
think
I haven't
so.
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have that actually.
And then there's another one, but I don't really count it because it's insane expensive. Like we're talking upwards of $500 to $600, and that is the Wind Waker Metroid Prime split, where both games came in one case, and the cover was like a split art. That thing's super rare. That was like a pack in with something. But the other thing we got here, and this is super super cute. Pau's favorite Link so far is the modern Link's Awakening. She says he looks like a pop figure. So she made this cute little, I call it a card. She says it's not a card, but it's this cute little diorama. And it says The Adventures of Eric and Pau.
Aww.
And if you look at it like I'm going to this camera so the guys can see it. So like it's got a little digital version of me and her and the palm trees and everything.
That's
I
cute.
love that.
Yeah, this is great. This is one of the best things I think she's ever made in terms of cards. And like trinket gifts type of stuff. So
sending lots of love to Pal for that. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
That's so thoughtful.
She goes all out, guys. She really goes all out. And then, I got a brand new Kindle to read books on because if you don't know, I read a lot of books. So I like Kindles a lot.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm 39 years old. Next year will be the big 4-0. So we're talking midlife crisis time, boys.
Happen.
Honestly,
It
I
won't happen
didn't
too
even
far.
realize you were hitting near 40, Eric. I thought you were like early 30s still.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, I thought you were still early 30s. When did I met first? You were 5 years ago. That means you were 34 when
34 when I met you, dude.
And I was like 21, 22.
The one that gets me now is Carla. For those that don't know, Carla does a lot of like modding here for my Twitch channel when I stream and all that stuff. Carla's in like 22 now.
Damn.
And it's like, gosh. Yep. Xena's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But time flies, dude. Time flies. But yeah,
Time
everyone thinks I'm
flies.
younger. The ladies in the chat think I'm all younger. I'm all for it. Let's roll with this. I'm officially 32.
Oh yeah, by the way, Eric, I found that combo pack you were talking about. But it's like $700.
It's stupid
on eBay.
expensive.
Yeah.
It is stupid expensive. I don't even know if I'll
Indeed.
ever have it. But
One day you will.
I'm missing one GameCube game. I'm missing one Game Boy. I'm missing one of the Oracle games, and then I am missing what other one am I missing? I feel like I'm missing another one somewhere, but I'm pretty close to having like a full physical collection. And then I get to go start getting all the variants. The gold cartridge Ocarina, the hologram cartridge, Majora. Like I'll start getting the variants.
Oh, I have the hologram Majora for Majora's Mask.
The hologram Majora's Mask is actually the common one.
Yeah.
It's I have the unholographic one. I traded up for that one. That one's the rare. That's the rarer one. So I traded for that one. And then I have the Zelda Collector's Edition on GameCube that has all the 4 games on it. That one I had to trade my way to too. So we're getting there. I will have a full collection soon enough. And it's getting to the point now too where I'm like, I'm almost there. And as long as Nintendo doesn't keep throwing stuff at me, I'll be caught up. But yeah, and I think once I do a full Zelda collection, I think my game collecting days will be coming to a minimum. I might do a Metroid collection. I thought about it. But Final Fantasy X. Is this the first time you did Final Fantasy X?
Nope. This is like my 4th playthrough.
4th playthrough? Is this your favorite one?
It is my absolute favorite. There are 2 lovely ladies in chat, Lady Shadow Ninja and RMR, that has never played it or seen it before. So I'm giving them the grand tour of the full experience, and I can't wait for them to fully see it all. So no spoilers, but like,
are you doing it
I've only
on
played 7.
Are you doing it on PC or are you doing it on PC? I was like,
yeah.
I thought about playing that one again, and I have a PlayStation 2, and I was like, do I do it on a PlayStation 2 like it was intended, or do I do the PC thing? But excuse me, I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
I'm a noob with Final Fantasy.
So,
I've played 7 remake, and that's it.
10 is also Hannah's favorite, if I recall correctly. So Hannah loves Final Fantasy X. That's Titus, right? I think it is.
Yeah.
Titus, yeah. So I've never played 10. 10's one of the ones I haven't played. But what are you doing this playthrough now versus like what you've done before? Are you exploring it more? Or are you kind of just soaking it in and playing it like you normally do? Doing anything different with it?
So essentially what I'm doing is because usually like when I play Final Fantasy X, I take some time to try and do some level grinding.
Right.
But I'm not really doing that right now because like it's so I just want to kind of like get to the end and try and like see if I can like have a good challenge. Because if you do a bit of a level grinding, especially like for someone that I don't like running away from battles. So I want to try and see if we can like not where like the end of the game isn't so easy for me.
Gotcha. Okay. So like do you do this a lot in other games like that have level grinding? Like do you just grind up and then dominate through the game once you reach where you think you need to be? No?
Nope. I like going in under leveled and like using, because like sometimes like there's a lot of like RPGs that I play. Like if you're like think Paper, like all the Paper Mario games, like certain Final Fantasy games where you get to a certain point of the game where like you just curb stomp the rest of the game. It's so easy because you're overpowered, but like I want it, and you don't really get to use all the different strategies and tactics, like using like certain status effects or having certain basically like brute forcing your way through combat.
Right.
And I love that challenge, and Final Fantasy X is kind of a game that, you know, does suggest you to do grinding, but like it's also like linear in the sense of where you can just kind of just keep going. But so I'm just seeing like how things will end up if I just go all the way to the end.
Is it one of the harder Final Fantasies X?
Post game stuff, yes, because like I think this is for like the Japanese version that wasn't originally released in the North American version, but they have something called Dark Aeons. I'm not going to really explain it too much because there's a couple people here that I'm trying not to spoil for, right. But essentially it gets to a certain point in the game where you're practically near the end, and then you face one of them, and your max HP is like a 9,999. That's the maximum. But then they punch you and they do like 25,000 damage. It's like, wait a minute.
So 4 hits and you're done. Yeah.
No. Like one shot.
One hit.
No, one shot. Yes, so 25,000 damage.
9,999 against 25,000.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you're just like, how is this possible?
It sounds similar to post Kingdom Hearts 3, the Remind DLC. There's like a section where you can face like bosses throughout the entire Kingdom Hearts series, and they're all like suited up versions of like bosses, called like data mines, and you can literally like I faced one of them unprepared and died within like 5 seconds because it literally just like blitzed me.
So brutal. But
yeah,
Final Fantasy 4 was 2 in the US, the Super Nintendo 2.
Yeah.
That's Final Fantasy
5 and 6 were also Super Nintendo.
Yeah. The ones we got here were 4 and 6, and then here they were 2 and 3, which is, I don't know why they did that. But, well, no, I can see why they did that because they didn't release any of the other ones here.
Well, didn't they rename it to something else, and that's why it was very confusing between, like, 4 and 6? And
yeah,
then
so
7
4 came into the... So here in the US, we got Final Fantasy 1, which came out in Japan also, and that was regular Nintendo, NES. When we got to the Super Nintendo era, there was another Final Fantasy. There was 2 Final Fantasy games that came out before we got another one in the US. So Final Fantasy 4 in Japan got released in the US, but it was Final Fantasy 2 here. And then they did 5 in Japan, which we didn't get. And then they did 6 in Japan, which became Final Fantasy 3 here.
So technically Final Fantasy 7 is actually Final Fantasy 4 in the US.
No, Final Fantasy 7, they fixed that. So, like, 7 in the Japan is the 7 we got here.
Okay.
Which is, I know it's weird. And where it's
the
like...
timeline is getting confused here. I feel like I actually am reading the Kingdom Hearts
from
lore.
7 on, everything is consistent.
7 on is everything's consistent. They haven't split anything. But yeah, the Super Nintendo era is where it gets weird.
One question about Final Fantasy X, then. Why is there a -2 game, then?
Yeah, I know.
So...
Yeah, Zenith can take this.
Dash 2 was the very first time there was a sequel to one of their Final Fantasy games, because Final Fantasy at that point, they're all games where you can play them in any order. Once you beat the game, the story and all those characters and the lore are all finished, and nothing ties into the other games. But this time they buckled that trend, and they went with the sequel to Final Fantasy X. So it's actually a sequel. Now, the thing that actually I've asked a couple times the last week to my chat is, because we were talking about games that aged very well versus games that aged poorly, and my opinions were actually both Final Fantasy games, because games that aged very poorly was Final Fantasy VII, where Final Fantasy X is probably the game that aged the most. Well, aged well the most.
Yeah, aged well
the most. Right. Okay.
Yeah, 10 still looks good by today's
10's
standards.
passable.
But 7, if you play the original 7, it looks very, very dated on like a modern, thing. It looks like a Switch indie game if you play it on Switch.
But isn't the original 7 like the entire story though of Final Fantasy 7? Whereas with the remakes, what they're doing is they're doing a reimagining of the original game and splitting it into 3 parts.
Yeah, so the original game was 4 disc, I think, 4 or 3 discs.
Yeah, 4 discs.
4 discs, like yeah. And then like the 4th disc is the last 20 minutes of the game. It's basically like the last boss. But
Final Fantasy 8 did that as well, where it was just like the last place you have to go to.
Right. So 7 is, all of 7 in disc is one inclusive game in one story. Yeah. The remake is taking that and fleshing it out.
Yeah.
And spanning it across 3 to 4 games or whatever they're going to do. I think they're doing 3.
3 full titles, plus doing Crisis Core. They're remaking that, and then that's coming out at the end of this year. Yeah,
because the biggest limitation 7 have was just the amount of data and resources they could work with. Because if they wanted to do Final Fantasy 7 the way it's intended, like in the remake is, it would have taken 10 disc, because of the resources. Because the problem, I think, if there's any problem with the original Final Fantasy 7 is we don't get much character development and stuff for the side characters.
But in the remake, they're working to fix
the
that.
Time. Yeah, they took the time to do all that, which is one of my favorite things about. Like Jess, they made Jess like just this unbelievable character.
I love Tifa.
Tifa? Yeah. Tifa's, bae to everyone on Final Fantasy fandom.
Well,
like,
I have
Tifa's
a buddy, I argue with him sometimes about this because he's a big Aerith fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big Tifa fan.
See, and they spend some good time with Aerith in the original game.
They do.
They spend good time with her, but even her story's not fleshed out completely like it should be. So they're taking the time with it and they're fleshing it out and they're making it, seem like a cohesive thing that really, because it really is. People will argue that there's better ones. Like people love 9, people love 8, but I think 7 is kind of like
the definitive one.
Yeah, 7's the one most people associate with nowadays. It's the most popular one. That's the one they use the characters for Smash, and almost any side thing for Final Fantasy. It includes Cloud or Sephiroth in some way, shape, or form. So. No, but 10, I've never played 10. I think I'm going to do a Final Fantasy run. I have most of them on Steam, so.
I have 15.
The HD remaster is great. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Like 10 actually remastered their musical score as well. So you think, oh shoot, they redid all the music. Oh, it's just going to sound like crap. No, they actually made it way, way better.
Oh, really? This is the 10, like the 10 remaster or whatever?
Yeah, so like the 10 remaster, they what's the word? Like they remixed all the music,
right?
And it just sounds brilliant and just way more fleshed out.
Maybe I'll try 10 next. I have 15. I don't know how 15 is gonna roll with me. The emo boys and cars.
So I've kind of watched a review of, I will say it's a review, but it's like a mocking review of Final Fantasy 15. So I kind of do know what he simplifies basically what's going on in the entirety of the game, and then puts his own hilarious spin on it and stuff. It was
Does like, sound ridiculous?
It's remember the channel Maxor that I recommended you, Kitty?
Oh, right.
Eric. Yeah, it's that. The same channel, the same guy who did Elden Ring on Incorrect Summaries. He also did a review of Final Fantasy 15 and how you can break the game.
I'll try it eventually, but I think it's last on my list. Maybe we'll try 10. I tried 13. 13's kind of a turd. It's not very exciting.
I didn't like 13. And
most people did.
And the 2 sequels it had, it would have been fine if it just left.
See, they tried to do the same thing. Lightning is the character in 13. Like, Lightning's the main protagonist in 13. They tried to do the same thing with Lightning that happened with Cloud. Like, Cloud became this runaway popular character. And then they tried to do the same thing with Lightning, and it just didn't work.
They're trying to force us to say, "Hey, Lightning's pretty cool. You should." No. It's like,
no. Good.
Stop it.
I'm good, fam. Dill, how is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond? This is a remake of Diamond and / Pearl, right?
So that's the game that I finally finished. Because
had you ever finished it before?
Well, the original games I played a long time ago. Not only did I beat Diamond originally, but I also did the entire Pokedex, like everything within a year of doing it. And then I basically I also played Pearl and did made Pearl my little extra game that I would do special runs on. And then Platinum came out, and then Platinum became my default Gen 4 gameplay. Brilliant Diamond is the game that I just finished recently because for the last 8 months I spent trying to shiny hunt Dialga and called it quits recently, and then it took me literally I think 2 streams to finish the game in total.
What do you get if you get shiny Pokemon, or do you get something special if you get all the shiny Pokemon, or is it just the thrill,
the glory of saying that you got every shiny in the game? That's all I know.
I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I'm just
thing.
Compulsive
my
collecting.
They just told me just stop at this point, Dylan, just continue with the game because you're not enjoying it anymore. And I'm because I spent 8 months on and off trying to find the shiny, and I was bored.
Man,
so
if you the only real reward I can really think is if you get every shiny in the game, they send Shigeru Miyamoto to your house and he gives you a hand job.
Jesus.
I mean, I would accept that, honestly. I'd accept that just for trying.
Handy, I choose you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not a Pokeball.
No,
that's 2 Pokeballs. You notice that when the ladies are not here, the conversation just gets more lewd. We're
Hannah.
horrible.
Hannah's just turned it in chat right there. Sorry, Hannah. Hannah, close your ears.
We're horrible. We're gonna
Don't look, Hannah. Don't look.
Yeah, we're gonna
don't look at us.
We're gonna cancel ourselves. Do you hear what he said? Something about Miyamoto hand jobs. We're what?
Miyamoto.
My ultimate review now of Brilliant Diamond. It's a good, faithful remake. As a game, though, it's okay. It would have been better if they brought over a bunch of the Platinum content into Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because it was just a full-on remake of the original games. There was no Platinum content, and to me, the Platinum content made Gen 4 better. However, there are modders in the community that have worked on their own version of Platinum, basically, which they modded. They modded it from Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It's called Sigma Platinum. Which is basically a modded version of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl that includes all the Platinum content, basically. And they're also working on making a hardcore mode version of it called Pokemon Lumicient, which is based...
How do you get more hardcore in Pokemon?
Well, it's based on the ROM hack called Pokemon Renegade Platinum.
See, I'd play that. That sounds rad.
Yeah. That is basically hard mode Gen 4 game, where all the Pokemon trainers have fully suited up teams with best stats, competitive movesets. The gym leaders all have 6 Pokemon each, and you basically just got to try and get through the entirety of the game, and it's a wild ride. It's something that I've not played yet, Renegade Platinum, but I do want to do a playthrough of it because it does sound fun and it does sound interesting to me. So they're making like a 3D upgraded model of that called Pokemon Lumicient, based on like modern Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I've seen screenshots. It looks impressive. They've actually like even recreated the moment Giratina comes out of like the portal on Sphere Pillar. It's insane.
Is this honestly a mod though? Like I think I missed that.
It's a mod.
Oh, it's a mod. Okay.
It's a modded version of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl that the models are working on right now. Sigma Platinum is out and got an update recently, like last month. Lumicient is still being worked on as we speak, and hopefully it will come out in the future. I want to play it. It sounds fantastic and right up my alley.
The Pokemon community is crazy, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is. They are. Like the modders team especially is very dedicated to like, if we don't get, we won't, we'll make it ourselves.
And then there was that other game. Remember, what was it, Temtem or something? Like, it was basically just a knockoff of Pokemon that was on Steam, and it was supposed to be a more hardcore version of, like,
I was going to try that at one point, but, like, I didn't get around to it. But I think it's still being worked on to this day, Temtem. So...
Good stuff. So we'll blend our two in here together.
Yes.
So in a second here. So I am finishing up the Zelda A Link Between Worlds. I jumped back on my 3DS and hammered through this one too.
Nice.
We made some more progress. So I finally got to the point where I was like playing this game. I'm like, you know what? This game's hella easy. Like, this game's not difficult at all. And now I'm on the last two like dungeons in the Dark World, basically. And I'm hitting a difficulty curve where just finding a way to get to the dungeons is like becoming a thing where I'm like, okay, I can't even find the entrance to this dungeon. Now it's starting to get tricky and a little bit harder. So I went up to Death Mountain and I'm working on the Death Mountain dungeon. And it took me a day or two to find a way in. And I was like, okay, I finally found the way in. You have to go through some mines and ride some elevators, and then you get through, and now you find the portal into the Dark World that will get you to that dungeon. It is the Ice Dungeon, which, if you ever play more Zeldas, fuck Ice Dungeons.
I hate that dungeon.
Ice Dungeons and Water Dungeons are my Achilles heel, I think, in Zelda games.
Yeah.
But Zenith just mentioned here, contrary to Zenith's argument here, the Ice Dungeon in this game might actually be one of my favorite Zelda dungeons. And it does something that is unique amongst any Zelda game, is that the first thing you find in the dungeon is the main key to get to the boss, which I thought was brilliant. Usually you're journeying through the dungeon, finding the weapon you need to get through the dungeon, and then you find your way to the key that gets you to the boss door. They did it in reverse in this dungeon, where the first thing you find is the boss key to get to the boss room. And then the rest of the dungeon is you navigating your way to the door, which I thought was actually pretty brilliantly done. And it's kind of interesting because it's a multi-tiered elevator-based dungeon. So there's like going up elevators, there's rolling off edges to the next floor down and kind of stuff like that. And it makes for a very, very interesting dungeon. I was like, this is difficult as hell. It's actually really, really hard. It's one of the harder dungeons I think I've done in any Zelda, but it is damn fun.
Is this game on just 3DS only then?
3DS, yes. And to be fair, it's actually fairly affordable now, still. It's not an expensive one by any means.
Well, if it's on the 3DS store, then I guess if anyone wants to get it, they only have a certain amount of time before the store closes.
Oh, yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. So if you want to go pick it up, put your card, or put your did they take the funds thing away yet? We're pretty close to that window. You might have to just go purchase it.
Yeah.
But it's fairly easy to get. It went player's choice, so it's $19.99 somewhere, I think, and then it's a fairly easy game to get. It's not super expensive really by any means, but it's a brilliant dungeon. I got all the way to the end of the boss and I died on the boss and I lost all my weapons and stuff, and I'm like, crap. I got to go start from the last save because I don't want to go re-rent all the weapons and come back. So you kind of have to play through the dungeon again. Brilliantly laid out dungeon, though. I think you would enjoy this one, Dill. It's a very nice blend of the original 2D top-down Zelda.
Yeah.
and modern 3D looking graphics. It's beautifully well done game.
The last one that I played,
retelling of Link to the Past as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But without it being Link to the Past.
Yeah. The last one I played was the remake of Link's Awakening last year, and that one I did really enjoy because it was a nice little like twist at the end, obviously.
Brilliantly done ending, right?
Yeah. And the music was like top notch. It was fantastic in that game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've played that, and I've played Breath of the Wild 2 twice. But not 2, but Breath of the Wild twice.
Breath of the Wild is GOAT tier in terms of Zelda.
Yeah.
It is in the top 3.
It's a great introduction game, my personal opinion, into Legend of Zelda, honestly. I've got Skyward Sword. I hear Skyward Sword is the weakest one of the weakest one in the entries of Zelda. Yeah. I think, honestly, what we need, Nintendo, if you're watching, we need you to release more things on the Switch. We need Twilight Princess probably on there. Maybe even Wind Waker would do.
I think Wind Waker would come first. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Wind Waker is kind of tied in that generation for people's favorites.
Yeah, it's like a even split between Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. If you have like both HD versions.
I think Twilight Princess 2 is one of those games where I like look at it, and to me, Twilight Princess kind of falls under the radar in Zelda's. I always remember Wind Waker more. Because Wind Waker Link is like beloved in terms of character, but when they showed the artwork and the game style and
they weren't impressed.
No one liked it because remember, this was fresh off Majora's and Ocarina of Time.
But wasn't there a demo they showed also of like full-on 3D, full-looking Zelda the battling Ganon, and that's what they in their minds imprinted into them as the next Zelda game, and then they showed off Wind Waker.
I don't remember.
It was
but
was it 2001 E3? They showed something like that.
But like I remember people were just outraged when they saw Wind Waker Link. He looks so cutesy. They're making him cutesy looking and da 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 da. This is not my Zelda. And now Wind Waker Link is one of the most beloved Zeldas and Links in terms of characters. Yeah. But like people hate but like Twilight Princess always kind of falls under the radar. At least to me.
It does.
Yeah, like I wish they would come back to that style, because like we've gotten how many games using the Wind Waker style art. Like you have obviously Wind Waker itself, Minish Cap, Four Swords. Oh, don't forget the Four Swords for the Game Boy Advance. You have Triangle Trackers, and then Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks.
They use Wind Waker Link a lot.
Yeah. It's 7 games.
I sent Eric a video of someone's like review of each Legend of Zelda game in TikTok messages. I don't know if you got that, Eric.
Yeah, where he's like, it's God tier and da 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 da. I think I even commented on it where I'm like, A Link Between Worlds is more than just all right, because he was like, it's alright, and I'm like, no, it's more than all right. A Link Between Worlds it's not in the top 5, but it's on that border. Yeah, but. Yeah, no, I'm having fun with it. I'll probably finish it by the next episode, and then that'll be done. And then, like I said, light gameplay for a majority of us this week here. But Dill and I look like we're both going through some more Elden Ring. So
Tarnish work.
So, like, you're doing a whole new playthrough again, right?
So I'm on my second playthrough, doing a Black Flame Bleed weapon build. I'm using a checklist as well for each of the bosses that I take down. Without even realizing it, the last time I played it, I took down 20 bosses within 5 hours without realizing.
Jesus.
I just like blitz through them. I've according to my checklist, I've beaten 99 out of 165 bosses now in total.
Did you see the girl that beat the whole game on like level one-handed?
I'm so jealous. That is some skill right there.
I don't know how these people do it.
I don't. Dedication, time, patience, just like tenacity, all the things that you need.
I'm like, what the hell? I saw her beat. What is Melania? Is Melania the last boss, or Melania?
No, Melania is an optional boss, but is dubbed the hardest boss to take on in Elden Ring, and she deserves that, and then some. She is a tenacious, boss that will exploit every single time you make a mistake and then add 10 to it, basically.
Well,
Yeah,
she took that.
her moveset is like, it feels a little less like you know how like the speed of the game is going for Elden Ring, right?
Yeah.
But like when you're fighting Millennium, imagine taking the speed and ferocity of how enemies were in Bloodborne, but adding it to Elden Ring. It's like, wait a minute, no.
So it basically takes the speed of your typical boss combat, because from what I'm gathering, the boss combat is slow. It's a lot of like pacing and waiting for the right time to strike, and then. But then again, every boss in the game might be different.
Every boss has a different style when it comes to their way of attack. There is always openings. With Millennia, there are openings, but very short openings.
So it's get in, get out. 1 hit, 2 hits, and then you jump back, right?
Yes. Like, with my first playthrough with her, I used a strength build. And strength builds are actually very good against Millennia because they knock her back. And so that creates an opening for you to land a few hits, basically. But with my current build, it's obviously a Black Flame Bleed build. The bleed is probably going to be the best thing for me to use because she is susceptible to bleed damage, if I remember correctly. So it should be interesting when I do get to her. I'm working on it. I'm currently just got into Lindell right now, which is the capital city of the entire game. So, yeah.
So I have not beat Margit yet, but I am getting close. Like, I am in the last eighth to quarter of health for this thing. Like, every time I go in, unless I drastically screw something up, I'm like, every battle, I'm in the last eighth to a quarter of her health, and then I get stomped. I'm at level 26, 27 right now, and then my vigor is up at like 18 or 19.
My character is level 79, and my vigor's at 30. My faith's 42 due to spells I want to use for this build, and then my dexterity and strength in the 20s, like 22, 23.
So I guess
faith is so fun.
I guess the question I have is, and I don't know if this is abnormal, and this might be different for every person that's playing this game because it's a difficulty hurdle. I must have died by Margit maybe 50 to 60 times already. Is that abnormal? Like, am I just not? Oh, no?
No, it's not. Everyone has a different experience when it comes to playing like Elden Ring. If some people, it will take them multiple upon multiple attempts to be a boss. Some people will take them only a few. Some people will do it on the first try. With Margit on my first playthrough, I must have died to him maybe 12 to 24 times, at least in my first playthrough. The key thing that obviously I did, which is what you have been doing recently, Eric, is backing away from him, going to other places, exploring, grinding, leveling up more, finding cooler weapons and better armor and talismans, basically.
Yeah.
Second playthrough when I took on Margit, for some strange... Because I did knew what to do, and I, got all the secrets and I leveled up, I beat Margit first try because I knew what to do. So
now I've gotten to this route. So I've got this strategy going now where I use the companion, and then I use the companion, and then I got the shackles that will hunker him down for like twice, and then you get a couple hits in. I got that far.
Oh, do you summon Roger?
Roger, yeah, that's the one, right?
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Do you also use your other summon?
The wolves or whatever. I have the wolves one. I have the jellyfish.
Nice. Wolves are probably better for you than jellyfish at this point.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there a third one that I could possibly have, or at this point in the game?
No. I don't. Unless you can summon a friend, no.
Okay. So there's that, and then I also took some time in the game and I started exploring the actual crafting and the menu and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to feel like a real dum-dum, or I'm going to sound like a real dum-dum. I collected a bunch of these golden runes, right?
Yep.
I thought they were worth 1 rune.
Nope.
I was like, oh, it just gives me a rune. Cool, right?
No.
I went through my inventory. I must have had like 30 golden runes, and then I had a couple of them that were worth like 1,000 or something like that. I forget which one those are.
Yeah, they have like numbers on them basically for like how much they're worth. I think
Right.
the lowest one's 200, and then the highest one's somewhere in the like thousands, like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, so I had I had a couple that were worth like 2K, and then I had like 30 of them that were worth 200.
There you go.
And then I cashed them in. And I saw my thing going up, my runes going. I'm like, oh shit! Like these are free points. I had like 10,000 just sitting in my inventory that I wasn't cashing in.
Yeah.
So I used that to bump up vigor a couple times, and I bumped up strength once, and that helped. I'm also crafting. I learned how to craft this thing where it basically like coats your sword with fire.
Oh yes.
And I started using that, and that started doing some damage.
Resin, I think it is.
Yeah, it started doing some damage on him too. And I'm like, okay, now I'm getting some. So now I'm getting to the point where I can go with the companion, Regier, and then I get to the halfway point where he breaks out the hammer, and then I'm able to send the dogs. I could send the dogs once he has the hammer in play, and that kind of buys me time and buys me space.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you unlocked a place called Round Table Hold?
Ooh.
I did unlock Round Table Hold. I upgraded my sword to 4, so I have +4 on my sword.
Okay, that's good.
But am I missing something else?
Have you unlocked the ability to upgrade your spirit?
Don't think so.
Right. Have you been to a catacomb recently?
I've been through 2 of them. One of them is where, what's his name was? Where the shackle dealer was.
Ooh.
But I wish I had my map in front of me. I know what. Go ahead.
You know what I really like doing is, so there's probably like a few dungeons that you probably have either missed in like Limgrave or oh my gosh, what's the plateau before? Sorry,
Whispering something.
Limgrave, Weeping Peninsula.
Yes, Weeping Peninsula.
Yeah.
So there's actually on a website that has like an interactive map, and it will actually show you where some of the dungeons were, and that's kind of what I did to try and be like, okay, there's got to be a couple of dungeons I'm missing, and I just looked up and said, you know what? I don't care that I spoiled new dungeon. Let's go.
That was me as well.
Yeah, so it's a tough game, but I think this is the farthest I've gotten in any Dark Souls-esque game in ever. I think this is the farthest I've ever gotten in one of them. So, you know, I'm going to see it through, but I'm like 40 hours, 35 hours in, and I'm starting to feel kind of like, maybe am I just grinding my wheels here? Am I like behind? But like, no, because there's people that are like doing this game in like 60 hours, 40 hours, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's just not me.
It took me like 135 hours.
Mine took me about, in-game hours is about 88, 89 hours, and Steam recorded like 96 hours of me total with the game open.
Okay, so I'm not
at least
that far off in terms of pacing, because I'd imagine you've leveled yourself up so much just to get through Margit that the remaining bosses tend to be, I don't want to say easier, but it seems to be more in level alignment.
I technically use a little gimmick in the game where if you kill a certain enemy, you get a lot of golden
I heard
runes.
about this. There's some dragon in some Hellfire area. I made it to the Hellfire area, and I didn't get very far because those dudes were like OP and
I found I know there's a portal you can go to where you can go near to that location, near to the fort where the dragon is. You can get like 75k golden runes, and I leveled up 20 times from that.
I tell you though, the very first time I went east of Limgrave and ended up in Caelid, I was like, "Oh god, fuck this place! Oh, I hate it.
Same.
It's terrifying,
Literally.
man.
I got stomped.
I went to that church, the Scorching Church, and then as soon as I got there, I got off. I was forced off my horse, and I was like, "Wait, what's going on here? Oh no!" Then the NPC shows up with a giant freaking sword. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. It wasn't so much that for me because like you could still like cheese like other like NPC like invading NPCs, but I went a bit further east. Like those like T-Rex dog things. I'm running past them.
The T-Rex
and then those
dogs,
giant crows.
The giant crows. The
like my heart just leaps out of my chest.
Explosive like corpses.
Yeah, my opinion still stands. I think this game is brilliant. I really do think it's a brilliant game in terms of what they
highly recommend going to Caelid.
This is probably one of the.
You'll scream your head off with the entire time you're there, but
it's to the point where I'm playing this and I'm like, how could From Software actually top this? Like, what can they do better than this?
Well, there was an article I read saying that one of the devs or execs says they're already starting to work on their next game, and I'm like, can they rest? Miyazaki, let your team rest. Are you okay?
They're like me. Fuck it, coffee.
Yes.
5 pots. I heard Dave Grohl drinks 5 pots. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, Dave Grohl's like producing the next From Software game.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Actually, that'd be
actually really cool. The music would definitely be fantastic.
And like, I don't know, I'm getting consumed so much by like medieval times and dragons and stuff. Like I started watching that HBO Game of Thrones prequel or whatever they got going on now.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much more dragon shit can I consume?
Easy, because Lord of the Rings launches in about 5 days.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
I don't
I don't really like Lord of the Rings.
I've tried watching Lord of the Rings. It doesn't interest me one bit.
Dude, those movies are so long.
I know what I'm no longer welcome on this podcast.
I'm sorry, Zen.
Are you a Lord of the Rings person?
Yes.
There's
always there's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm sure there's somebody that watches this or hears this and they say, Eric, shut up about Star Wars. No one cares. You know, but like...
And then for me, it's like, Dale, shut up about Pokemon. No one cares.
No, you're the resident Pokemon expert. Every time Nintendo drops something Pokemon, that's why we need you here. But like Lord of the Rings... I can't get into it. I don't know what it is.
Same.
I think they're too long. I think the story is too long. You could watch those. If you watch the extended cuts, I'm serious. You watch the extended cuts from the waiting room when your first child is born. By the time you're done, he's off to college. Yeah. Like, that's how long these things are. Like, it's insane stupid.
So, as someone that's actually watched all the extended editions, I gotta say, there's nothing like, say, all right, you're sitting with your girlfriend. It's a cloudy
What girlfriend? You're watching
Saturday.
Lord of the Rings.
You're watching Lord of the Rings with a girl?
This is what I used to do with my ex-girlfriend.
Okay, she was one of those. She was one of those ones.
She was the swords master at medieval times. So like she was a big nerd like I was.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
I Excalibur like she was a birthday present for me. So
please tell me. Please tell me she wore the costume during like date night.
No.
What? Freaky time.
Yes. Yes, she does wear a costume at work. But no, she didn't give me the sword like Lady of the Lake, like just pulled out of the bathtub with my sword. It's like, no, you can't do that.
Someone in the chat just put Excalibur in quotes.
It rises from the ashes.
Yeah, literally.
Something else rise from the ashes that day.
That's wild. That is wild.
Questions enough related to Lord of the Rings. When you do watch it with someone who's, say what they're watching it for the first time, and that scene pops up where the guy, I don't know what his name is, kicks that helmet, are you the type of person who will say a fun fact about that scene?
Oh god.
He breaks his toe.
No, because if anyone talks during the movie, they're going to get slapped.
Pal and I watched the new Top Gun last night. So if you've never seen Top Gun, the first Top Gun has a scene where they're like on the beach shirtless, you know, and they're playing volleyball or whatever. Well, they did it again in this movie, right? Because it's kind of like one of the things, you know. So the beach scene starts, and Pal goes ahead and starts grabbing the pillow, and she's hugging the pillow, squeezing it tight, looking straight at the TV. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
In the field position.
Oh, you wanted to, I know why you wanted to watch this movie now. I see what's up.
There you go.
Even 60-year-old Tom Cruise is sitting out there flaunting it. He's in great
my
shape for
God.
60, by the way. I was like, Jesus.
Mhm.
I don't know what cocktail he's having, but it's definitely working.
Him, Sylvester Stallone. I don't know. Well, we all know what cocktail he's taking, but like, damn.
Well, yeah, the real Mission Impossible was him to not age.
Yeah.
And it's as crazy as it sounds, it's finally starting to show, I think. Like, it's a little, like, you could see it a little bit now. Like, he's aging. But I'm like, God damn, this guy. Them Scientologists, what are they feeding you to keep your skin so fresh and, like, soft
The blood
looking?
of the children.
Science. Or science.
Science. Science. That curly haired dude, science.
Yeah.
But like, that's wild, man. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is too long. Maybe I'll check out this TV show. Is it a prequel thing?
Yes. I mean,
yeah, so like it goes over like the creation of the One Ring and the rise of
okay,
Sauron,
that might
so.
be cool. I might be into that. I feel like I could take it more because it's broken up into episodes rather than just sitting through 3 long movies.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I was
one
going to
long movie
mention
in
though,
6 parts.
the greatest thing about watching the extended video movies is if it's like a Saturday, if it's like overcast where it's just you don't want to go out for the weekend, you grab yourself some snacks, you lay in bed all day and just watch the extended edition, and the whole weekend just goes by an instant. But like you just completely lose. It's like, are we in our own bed right now?
Yeah.
So it's so relaxing. It's so
They're
nice.
beautiful movies. I will give them that.
Mhm.
Peter Jackson, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jackson.
beautiful movies. Like the scenery, like New Zealand is where they filmed all that. Like it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. I will give them that.
Yeah.
I just think the story is way too damn long, and to me, it doesn't get interesting until like the end of the second book or the second movie. Like that's when it starts to get like interesting. You know.
Well, I beg to differ, but I can kind of see why, because like Fellowship of the Ring does have like the slow pacing, and
Yeah, they're just
the Two
walking.
Towers, things are finally coming to a head where it's like, oh no, all this
Couldn't
stuff
they just
is
take
going on.
the eagle all the way to the end?
Yes, how it should have happened. Have you watched those videos?
I've heard of it. Like someone theorized that you could ride one of those eagles all the way to like the location, and it would make the movie like
Mordor?
a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Aren't they doing like some Lord of the Rings MMO or something? Like, wasn't that announced somewhere? Or some? I'm surprised they haven't done it yet if they haven't announced that. But
I mean, they announced the Dune one. I don't know about a Lord of the Rings one.
Dune looks cool, but we'll talk about that in a second here. Let's go ahead and actually like take a break. We'll go ahead and we'll take a break. We'll be back shortly. This is Good Friends, Good Games. We're gonna go ahead and get our waters refilled. Bathroom break. If you're in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves, or if one of the family here will stay on the channel or whatever, interact with them. We'll come back. We'll go and acknowledge all you guys. Say hello. For those of you that are listening, we'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good Friends, Good Games. We just went over what we were talking about. We talked about a lot of Elden Ring, some Lord of the Rings, some Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and some Super Mario 64 speedrunning. Excuse me. So now we'll get into the news segment of this whole thing here. So Twitch dropped a big bomb. Well, people think it's a big bomb. I don't think it's quite a big bomb. I think it's a little bit of a meh bomb.
It's a thing that should have been like a thing from the start, but
People are making it a bigger bomb than it really is. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this here. Twitch has removed the exclusivity clause for their partners. Now, I guess I'll explain how I see it. So, from what I understanding is partners are now allowed to stream on short form platforms such as TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram, etc. And then they are allowed to stream on YouTube and Facebook Gaming, which are the other two. But here's the key but in the whole thing. Simulcast streaming is still not allowed.
Yeah.
So we cannot, like, for example, here, if we were partners, we cannot be uploading this stream to Twitch and YouTube or Facebook at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So if I'm reading and understanding the rules correctly, theoretically, we took a break. I could have at the break stopped the stream here on Twitch and been like, hey, we're going to move over to YouTube Gaming and start the stream there. That would technically be legal under Twitch's rules. But to do it both at the same time, we still cannot do that. That is the big elephant in the room. They're still not allowing the simultaneous streaming.
Yeah. Meanwhile, affiliates, you can pretty much do that where you stream on YouTube one day or in the morning and then stream on Twitch at night.
Right.
Yeah.
So people are wondering whatever the difference was for partners. Partners, if you were a partner on Twitch, you were not allowed to stream on YouTube or Facebook Gaming, period. You could not do it. Even TikTok and I think Instagram were, even TikTok and Instagram, I think were a no-no. You cannot stream there.
I think there were like a few exceptions, because if you take a look at like various big YouTubers, such as like Markiplier, and like these people are not only are huge on YouTube, obviously, but they also have like the partner badge on Twitch, and yet they're not locked into only streaming on Twitch, where they're like, no, you're not allowed to stream on Twitch because you're so busy with YouTube.
I'm going to guess those are some kind of like weird contractual obligation type of things. I think those are more, I honestly believe like those purple check marks are more just like a verification type of thing. Like, hey, this is actually Markiplier and it's not just some channel, playing off as it's being Markiplier. It's almost like a verification type of thing. They may have the check mark, but they may not have the same partner requirements that, an XQC or Nick Merckx or whatever would have here on Twitch.
It could have been like a contract from YouTube itself that actually allowed Twitch to be like, okay, so like you're not going to have any exclusivity. You don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, even though you're so busy with doing YouTube stuff and you also stream on YouTube, we'd also like you to be able to like have the be able to have an occasional stream on Twitch, because I think he does his podcasts live on Twitch.
Right.
And like he'll be able to like do that with have his partner badge, no problem, and there's no like contract legal mess for YouTubers like him.
Right, which I think is probably the biggest thing. So okay, let's get some thoughts and opinions from you guys on this. So what do we think so far? Does this kind of help a partner situation? Does this fix anything? Does this make anything better? What do you actually think?
It allows them to explore more options, in my personal opinion, because you can be a partner and then you can also, because the good thing to do to a content creator is obviously not have one source of content on one platform. It's like multiple sources on multiple different platforms. This allows them to explore more options and allows them to try out YouTube gaming streaming, for instance, and see how you like that. Or if you want to go on Facebook, try on Facebook and everything like that. So it allows them to broaden their horizons on a different platform, possibly even to get more exposure on those platforms. And then those viewers, not all of them, but a handful of them, can come back to them on their main platform. And then it's a way of them being able to like, grow their community even further, even though they're already partnered. Yes, they have a community on one place,
right?
But it will allow them to find more people like who have similar interests to them with their content, and then be able to bring them all over. It's a bit of it's good that they're like being a bit more lenient with the agreements, basically, about the exclusivity agreement, and they're allowing people to do this. It does suck that they don't allow simultaneous ones. They do allow it. I think you can simultaneously cast on TikTok and Instagram Live along with live streaming, according to the
two big platforms, the two direct competitors are not allowed.
Direct competitors are not allowed because obviously they are direct competitors to the Twitch platform, and so they don't want like other people going on the competition's platforms and then live streaming on there.
Well, okay, so I see that. I could see. I understand. I get what you're saying out there, and I have some like, at least the way I'm navigating that take, and I'll go there. Go ahead. What do you think, Xena? Like, what are your opinions on this?
I'm gonna provide like a bit of backstory because let's take a look at some of the Twitch Twitch partner, because like we saw creators like what's his name, Shroud. Actually, no, I think Shroud's still on Twitch.
Shroud went to Mixer and then came back.
Yeah, who is that big guy? That
Ninja. Are you talking Ninja?
Not Ninja. Because he's back on Twitch.
Well.
Yeah. What was that guy that he played with? Sorry, what?
Ludwig?
No.
Dr. Disrespect?
No, not that big.
Dr. Lupo?
No, he's still on Twitch.
No, Lupo is YouTube.
Lupo's on YouTube.
This is the guy that everyone was making fun of because he couldn't get a crown on Fall Guys.
Oh, Tim the Tatman.
Oh, Tatman.
Yes, that guy. Him and a couple other people just bolted to YouTube, and as soon as that happens, you lose your partner badge, and they never stream on Twitch anymore unless if they want it. Like we all know that thing with Ninja where he went to Mixer and then he came back, and that was like a bit of a mess. But now that you can actually stream on rival platforms, even being a partner, this kind of makes it where if say Tim the Tatman wants to, or anyone else is thinking, hey, I want to try YouTube, and instead of completely opting out of Twitch and being completely unable to stream, he can still be able to stream on Twitch and be able to generate revenue for it, and then all those like recurring subs can stay. So it could be more beneficial to him, but also means
hitting
that
the nail on the head. Like he's hitting at where I'm getting at with this.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it also allows it's good for everybody. Like yes, it kind of brings more attention to a rival platform, but from a profit standpoint, it's actually it's beneficial for both, because now if you're making good money on YouTube, but even then, if you're say someone that streams 5 days on YouTube, but you're like, oh, wait a minute, I can stream on Twitch as well, and they can split it where it's like 3 days on YouTube, 2 days on Twitch, and you can probably make more money because the recurring subs, because you don't have to worry about completely going like alienating one platform for the other, and Twitch can still make money from that one partner.
Right. So Zine is kind of hitting on the nail on the head of where I'm getting at with you. So before I think kind of chime in, obviously we're talking about Twitch to YouTube, Facebook gaming, etc. that we're out, but we don't know the contractual agreements for YouTube and Facebook gaming to Twitch. We don't know the reverse thing. So I don't know what the rules are from them over there to come here. Like, I don't know what those rules are. But we do know the rules now for here to there. So Zenith kind of hits the nail on the head. So because you look at this on a broad face, it's like, well, how does that benefit Twitch? Like Twitch, how does Twitch make money from making a decision allowing people to go on other platforms? And I've watched several videos on this from several big people that kind of analyze this kind of stuff, and I'm kind of inclined to agree with their opinion. So here's what I'm thinking. I don't know if they have them where you guys are at, but those low-cost gyms like a Planet Fitness or a Planet, those low-cost $10 a month type of gyms, right? The whole point of those type of gyms is people spend a low amount, like $10 a month or whatever, and the gym is hoping they forget about it and they keep collecting that $10 a month. Yeah. So you'll see what I'm getting at with this here. So let's say, for example, we'll use Tim the Tatman as a large example of this, okay? Tim the Tatman is on Twitch. He's got 1 million subscribers a month. And, he's cashing in at, $250. We'll make the numbers easy. $250 a month per sub, right? Yeah. Well, in the old days, in the old platform standards, if he wanted to go to YouTube gaming, he couldn't. He would have to wait till his Twitch contract ran out, and then he would have to go and negotiate with YouTube or whatever and go over, right? Now, the risk incurred through that whole thing is, okay, I'm moving over to you. Tim the Tatman moves to YouTube gaming. The retention is the problem. So those 1 million subscribers on Twitch aren't necessarily going to be 1 million crossovers to YouTube gaming. If anything, the numbers say it's more like 20 to 30%. So he's going to take a 70,000 subscriber hit just switching over to YouTube. That's where the contract from YouTube subsides that, and he retains, income. So here's the thing now. Now, under the new standards, let's say, for example, Tim doesn't want to move on full-time to YouTube gaming, but he wants to stream there every now and then. Now he can go over there and stream, as long as it's not simulcast. Okay. He can go over there and stream X amount of days a week, build a following on YouTube, gain that revenue there, while Twitch is hoping that those 1 million subscribers stick around on Twitch and retain those subscriptions and not drop them. Okay. You kind of see what I'm getting at? Yeah. Yeah, so Twitch is banking that these people go over there, but they don't take the subscribers with them. Because Twitch, I think, realizes Twitch has a competition problem now. They have a huge competition problem, and it's YouTube. Facebook, I don't know how it stands in terms of competition from their books.
Not looked at Facebook.
But obviously, YouTube is a big problem. Because they're poaching everybody. They've poached, they started with Courage and Valkyrie, then they poached this guy's Toast, then they poached Tim the Tatman, they poached whoever else in the past, year or two or whatever.
Yeah.
So, or what is it,
actually,
Sukio or something like that?
I think Ninja did go back to YouTube now I think about it. I stand corrected.
Okay. So, they've lost those big, huge broadcasters and their subscriber base and that income. Twitch has lost that. Now it's over on the YouTube side, and YouTube reaps those benefits. This is the problem.
Sure, YouTube gives them like a big fat check if they sign up. Like that's what they did with what Ninja did with Mixer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you still don't lose the revenue you're getting from Twitch. But you also have to think about it from a Twitch perspective. Where it's like, hey, now instead of getting $0 from this one content creator,
we can get something.
We can still get recurring subs, even if they only just stream like one day a week on Twitch.
Which is it's almost shady and underhanded.
It is a little. Yeah.
Like I said, they're banking on you not remembering, and then they keep cashing $5 a month from you.
But at the same time, though, if you're someone that is like, hey, I love emotes, I want to keep using this emotes,
right?
And,
that's the other thing, because there's people that subscribe for just emotes.
Yeah, so like as long as they're there, if like I guess it all like, even though like a couple of things may sound kind of smelling, at the end of the day, like it actually works out for everyone, and there's no real negative to this. Unless you're a person that's like, hey, I give you all this money on Twitch. Now I also have lots of money, and I'm gonna be giving it to you on YouTube. And oops, you put me in debt. So, but that's up to them. So,
right. And it's weird because let's look at the Twitch situation. Like, obviously, we're realizing Twitch right now realizes. I think they realize they have a problem.
Yeah,
they have a competition problem, and I think more importantly, I think they might have an identity problem right now. See, because before, Twitch used to be the place to go for video games. Like, all the video game streamers, would stream on Twitch. Twitch was the place to stream your video game content. Twitch sold a video gamer lifestyle. With the introduction of IRL and all that kind of stuff, now Twitch, I don't think Twitch knows what it is. And they don't know how to fix this problem. Because YouTube, on the other side of it, YouTube's building this big identity around gaming. YouTube Gaming. Like, they're building an identity around it.
Yeah.
The other factor we have to look into right here too is the way each of their respective owners treats the platform. So like Twitch to Amazon, Twitch is just a line on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Twitch is not in Amazon is not in the business of turning Twitch into this mega Moogle empire for video games. Like, that's not what they do. Amazon's goal is to sell Prime subscriptions and to get people purchasing products on Prime. That is Amazon's goal. Where on the other hand, Google sees YouTube as a huge integral part of their revenue. I read the numbers one time, like the viewership in a year on Twitch is what YouTube gets in a day sometimes, which is just insane in terms of viewership. So YouTube is Google's huge revenue thing, where they can go ahead and sell off information, sell ads, all this kind of stuff, and all this to YouTube can benefit from that revenue. Whereas, like I said, Amazon's goal is to sell Prime subscriptions and all that stuff. I don't think Amazon's going to hold on to Twitch much longer.
I think they're going to probably write it off, honestly, at some point. It's going to be the case where Amazon will weigh up all their options and probably write it off to someone else.
Someone's going to, so it's going to get sold off and someone's going to pick it up. Who knows up in there? But like, I don't think Amazon intends on holding this onto this much longer, because from a financial standpoint, it doesn't benefit them. We always hear people always talk about how like Twitch makes so much money. Twitch makes millions of dollars, but we never look at how much it costs Amazon to actually run Twitch. It's expensive. Server fees and stuff are not cheap.
No.
We don't know the numbers, but it's not like Amazon takes home millions of dollars that come in. They probably only take home a fraction of that after expenses. So the idea that Twitch is still profitable from an Amazon end is slowly starting to dwindle. Especially when they were having to pay out partners multi-million-dollar contracts.
Yeah.
just to keep them aboard. This is the other aspect of this thing.
Ooh.
Now they allow you. Oh, go ahead, Zenith. You have a light bulb.
On top of that, if they are, like if they're going with this whole model of where you can still stream on any other platform, as long as it's not simulcast, they don't have to worry about trying to buy back Twitch streamers so that they can stop streaming on other platforms.
Yeah.
And so that they can stop doing all these like big contracts where they pay out, be like, hey, please don't leave us. Now with this, like they're saving themselves from essentially shooting themselves in the foot. Because like, how much money did they give Ninja to get him to try and come back to YouTube?
I don't remember, but it had to be lucrative enough. Obviously, the number wasn't as lucrative as what Mixer paid. That wouldn't make sense from Twitch.
Exactly, because like, Mixer was dying regardless of how well Ninja was doing.
Right.
So because of that, like they had like a bit of leverage, but even then, they still had to pay him to come back to them. And with this, like, they probably won't have to do that anymore. So
I think you're bigger. Like Ninja, once Ninja left and came back, I don't think he was as big as a concern. It was obviously someone they would want back on because of what the traffic he can bring. But I think their bigger concerns were like Tim the Tatman, your Pokimane, those. What's the other big Call of Duty one? Nick Merckx. That like those are the ones that XQC. Those are the ones that they want to keep because those are the ones that pay the bills at Twitch. They're the big revenue drivers and the traffic drivers. And from a marketing standpoint, like Pokimane is marketing gold to Twitch. Pokimane has the look to market a platform. So someone like that is very valuable to keep. Valkyrae was the same thing. She was a marketable face for a platform like Twitch, and now it's over on YouTube and 100 Thieves and all that stuff. But that's what Zine is getting at too, and it makes a perfect sense. Is like, oh, well, now we don't have to pay $5 million, $6 million to keep so-and-so here. We can let them stream over there and then just work on keeping the revenue here. We'll just keep them from subscribing over there on YouTube, but we'll let them stream over there.
Yeah, because like if they start losing subscribers on Twitch, is because they're not streaming enough. Because people are like, "Oh, I heard to see you streaming on Twitch anymore."
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, but even though they're not streaming here, they're still, giving us like, free money. So like
right,
you said
it's
with
free
the Planet
money.
Fitness thing.
Yeah, they're just hoping you forget about the subscription and doesn't so that's basically that's what the model is. But yeah, like there's no incentive now to pay because, like I said, that was their biggest problem is they couldn't stop people being poached. Once contracts are up, contracts are up. They can go and they can poach anywhere, especially in a state like California where non-exclusivity clauses and stuff like that are very difficult to navigate, and very rarely are they gotten away with. So to go ahead and go over there and stream or whatever and keep the revenue is a win-win for them. And then there's this other thing that's I think is a huge problem on Twitch's end. They don't see TikTok as a competitor, right. Which I think is probably Twitch's biggest mistake that they're going to be making. It's weird how this works. So like from what I can see from people, and we're talking people a little bit older than me. We're talking about your Gen Xers up and through millennial or up through baby boomer, right? Most of them have no idea what Twitch is. They have an inkling of what it is, but they really don't know what Twitch is. They sure as hell know what YouTube is. But the bigger thing I think the problem is that those parents have kids that are on TikTok constantly. So they damn well know what YouTube is, and they damn well know what TikTok is, and they know what Twitch is as a third, if their kids into video games or whatever. So to underestimate TikTok is a huge mistake. Because all TikTok has to do is turn on live streaming for everyone, and then Twitch has a huge problem on its hands.
Yeah.
So what if Twitch did something where, how you can make Twitch clips?
Yeah.
Right.
If there was a way where they could make Twitch clips or even just like short little highlights you can make on Twitch, whether you want to like edit it or not is entirely up to you, but just make it where there's a lot of discoverability on TikTok, because discoverability on TikTok is just absolutely insane. Like all of mine have at least like 300 views or something like that, and like one of them got up to like 1700. I'm like,
Yeah.
I put one video and got nearly 400 views on it, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So all you have to do is put the right hashtags.
Yeah.
It's not just the right hashtags, the right timing as well. Sometimes posting these videos too, because I think the highest view that I've got on one of my videos is 24,000 views.
What the hell? Damn.
Yeah. It was just like out of nowhere. It just kind of happened, and then it kept going and going and going for a few days, and then got to like 20,000, and it still gets attention every so often. As I said, it's just when it's hashtagging, it's following the right trend sometimes, and then it's also the right timing for the upload. If you upload it at prime time when everyone's watching on TikTok and stuff, it will blow up. And it will get a lot of attention.
Someone will grab it. So like, Zenith has a good idea. Like, Twitch starts allowing short form content the way they're supposed to, like a Twitch Reels or something like that, right? The problem Twitch has is they're already far too behind. They're too far behind in all of this. They don't even have something viable for YouTube in terms of recorded VOD content.
Yeah, like that's why a lot of people take their VODs and put it on YouTube.
Elsewhere.
Yeah,
like I'm lucky in the sense of where I actually know like a few of my viewers actually watch my Twitch VODs if they can't exactly finish or watch a whole stream.
Yeah,
but at the same time, that's only temporary. And where like if I started watching,
VODs are temporary, but Doom is always eternal. Sorry, I had a flashback.
Oh my gosh, you make me want to play Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing stream, let's go. But yeah, that's what I was getting at. So like they have to get that stuff figured. And you know what? I'll say it right now, they fucked up when YouTube was having the adpocalypse problem. Twitch could have jumped on all of that and been the number one spot for that kind of content for a while. But they didn't do it. If they didn't do it then, they're sure as hell not going to do it now. That's the thing. It's weird. I think of Twitch now, like when you look at everything, hindsight's 2020. It was cool, like when it all first started, right? But now it's turning the way of the cable platform, like cable TV. The concept now of watching live content is slowly starting to dwindle, especially now that people are going back to work and stuff from the pandemic.
Yeah.
Live content isn't really a viable thing anymore because now people need to be able to watch on their own time. That's the beauty of TikTok is people can watch stuff on their For You page from a week ago that they didn't even see, but it's still on their For You page. It's the same with YouTube. Yeah. I don't have time to watch the Gamescom stream live, but I can go watch it while I'm at the gym or I'm at home doing work. I can watch it in the background. I don't have to sit there and be there watching it live as it happens.
I mean, I didn't even watch the Gamescom live stream. I just watched all the trailers that were actually revealed in the live stream.
This is the problem Twitch has.
You want me to be honest about this one thing?
Yeah.
I think because of from the pandemic, everyone was so wrapped up in being connected virtually, and but like in a live setting where people are talking to each other and interacting with people live as it is happening. But now, with everyone's lives getting hectic again and things getting back to normal, is people are just burned out from each other and they just don't want live interactions. And that's why I totally get it. Not everyone is like that, but I guess just some, it's like, what, I'm just a little too busy to talk to you right now, so I'd rather just see something that's recorded and I can just watch it whenever I have time.
Right. And but Twitch has always banked on live, like watching it live, see it as it happens type of stuff. And that platform doesn't necessarily work now. It worked 5-6 years ago, and especially worked during the pandemic when everyone was home and thirsting for some kind of interaction with each other. But now, like you said, we're going back to our normalcy of life where we're going back to work, we're going back to school, and we're interacting with our peers there. In real life, live content doesn't quite work anymore. And this is something they should have jumped on. Now they have a huge gaping hole that they can't close the wound on because they're just bleeding this out. YouTube is going, you can argue it all you want about how successful Twitch is right now, et cetera, et cetera. YouTube is going to win this fight. It's just, I think that's the way it's going to be. YouTube is just too big of a monster to take down, and Google just sees too much investment in it to let it go. Whereas Amazon can look at it and be like, we did okay, but you know what? It's not worth the long-term cost. You know, we spent $4 billion on this, I think was the number or whatever. It's
something like that.
Yeah, let's move on, you know. And that's the big problem that Twitch has, and it's gonna come. It's gonna happen. You know, I truly do believe YouTube's gonna win this whole thing, and once YouTube fixes and all that too, YouTube just has to fix the layout. They just have to fix the navigation and some of the discovery parts of it, and then they're a valid Twitch competitor. But underestimating TikTok is a huge problem. Because everything now, these places have figured out, even Instagram's figured out over at Facebook, short form content works.
Short clip content.
Yeah, because the way it works is we have people watch 1 minute to 3 minute clips. They get sold something, and then they can just keep scrolling. And the time it takes to watch a half-hour broadcast, we can slap them with 33-minute clips and sell them 30 different things and hit them with 15, 20 different ads in between them and not disturb the content. You know, Twitch, you have to disturb the content to sell the ad, because they refuse to fix that problem.
Yeah.
I will give them this though, because on top of the news where partners can now stream on any rival platforms, but they're also been rolling out, slowly rolling out some updates or features in the future that's gonna make things a bit easier. Like they have something for shadow commands, because we were talking about discoverability issues,
right?
Where if you do announcement, if you're not following, it's say I do we do a shout out for Dill, and every single person here in chat, if they're not following Dill, they'll see a little pop-up in chat, and it'll be give a follow, and also show when is his next stream, as long as you put something on your schedule page.
Right.
I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, that's a very helpful tool.
Yeah.
And they've also have oh my gosh, what is it?
They have the pinned messages now in chat, which I think is very, very cool. So you can pin the links.
Yes, there's more things for charity as well. So they are working on some things. It's just they also really need to stay focused on getting ahead of the curve, because the landscape is changing, as you said, and it does look like they're getting busy. It's just, who knows if it's going to be too little, too late, or if they just have something major in the works. So maybe that's why it's all silent.
Well, we're going to find out in a month and a half or something like that. TwitchCon San Diego.
Yeah,
we shall see. I do know they got September coming up next month, and
people were mad about this one. I don't know why.
Actually, I saw people happy with it.
Oh, okay, I saw some rumbles of anger, but then again, it's Twitter.
People are just gonna be angry.
I haven't seen much on September.
I get it. It's people are oh, why isn't it the first one? But maybe it's probably one of those things where it's I think we lost way too much money on this. But
yeah, because it used to be 50%, right?
Daddy, yeah, it's a 50% cut. But if you take away what was it almost I forget how much the discount it was, but when Twitch wasn't really making a lot of money, it was beneficial for the content creators. I don't know. I guess they probably realized, okay, maybe we shouldn't be so aggressive with our deal. I don't know what the real reason is, but as it stands right now, you get, for brand new subs, you get, so the deal is to try and give savings to people that are doing longer term subs. So if you're someone that is brand new, you've never subbed before, it is 20% off. But if you want to do it for 3 months, you get 25% off every single month that you sub for, and 6 month subs are 30% off. And while the streamer still gets the exact same cut, and you also get this also applies to anyone upgrading from tier 1 to tier 2, and the same thing with tier 3. And also I saw someone mention that in the final 3 days of September, there's also going to be a sale for gifted subs, because don't forget, this is only for people that are subbing on their own. But for gifted subs, that's going to be on the last 3 days. And the reason why they're saving it for 3 days is they want to see the landscape to see if someone will sub on their own or someone that normally doesn't sub. And then on the last 3 days, for anyone that basically just go ham for 3 days, and here's a whole bunch of discounts. So
yeah, I get it, and I understand the sentiment, and it makes valid sense to them. Okay, let's ride this out. Let's ride the September month out. Let's see how many people actually bite the bullet on their own and jump in and sub versus before, because a large majority of broadcaster subs, I think Zenith can attest to this, a large majority of sub revenue comes from gifted subs.
Yes.
It is almost sorry, that message in chat is distracting.
I just noticed.
Is this one of your guys?
Did he talk about Lord of the Rings by any chance?
We'll let one of the mods handle that. But so I'm looking at this as like, okay, they want to jump in and see this thing, but then it's like, okay, well, if that doesn't work and they don't jump in on their own, let's go ahead and let's give the opportunity to have someone jump in for them. See, I think Twitch even relies too much on these gifted subs, to sneak that in at the last minute kind of thing. Or am I just off base thinking that?
From a business perspective, like, I can kind of see what they're doing just to try and because I think, like, at least in my experience was you start off, you're trying to, like, I have never spent money on anyone on Twitch before, and it's like, okay, fine, I can't believe I'm doing this, but here's my PayPal. Okay, I'll subscribe to this one person, and it's my one friend. Continue. And then after that I was like, okay, I'll sub to this person. Okay, I'll sub to this person as well. Oh crap! Oh,
right.
Now
it turns into like a drug addiction, right?
Subs.
You realize I did the numbers one month. I think my worst month, I had $80 a month in subs. This was years ago.
Yep, same.
Yeah, this was years ago, and then I kind of like realized, I'm like, wait a minute, I got to start financially like running my money a little bit better here. What the hell am I doing? But like that was the
highest 25 to 50 a month,
which is still a lot of subs if you think about it. So on the sub thing, let's think about this too. We're kind of missing this thing, and I think this is what's going to happen. You have a lot of partners out there that are on the 70-30 split.
Yeah.
Now that they can go and broadcast at other places, Twitch is going to drop it down to 50-50, I think that's coming.
I don't think they'll do that, because like that'll be an absolute disaster. I think what it might be, because from what I read, is that partners are no longer able to negotiate this the sub split. But for any brand new partners, because they don't exactly, because like back when Twitch started, they had, like, if you were a Twitch partner, you were able to get negotiate a deal for a better sub split, and you were also able to get a manager. So like, if you have any problems, you can get a manager. But now you have so many partners, they can't find enough managers for you,
right?
And because I guess just with the current landscape as it is, they really can't afford to negotiate that sub split. So if anything, if there is going to be any, I don't think it's going to happen, which is unfortunate. Like, they'd rather just like not have it be negotiated at all, as opposed to bringing people down from 70 to 30. Because like, if they want to lose all their content creators, they'll bring it down. And that'll be some bad PR.
Right. Which, remember, the rumor already kind of spilt that thing was up in the air.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I think it's going to happen, because the rumor already got out there. It's a rumor.
Yeah, if anything, it was one of those like rumors that are like purposely leaked to try and get a sense of feeling of what's out there. And it's like, how angry was this? Oh wait, I'm a fucking idiot. People would hate this.
Right. We'll see what happens. I'm inclined to believe that. Well, now we give them the opportunity to go elsewhere to make money. We don't necessarily need to pay them 70-30. You know, we can keep them at 50-50. They can get their revenue from elsewhere. I'm looking at it from a cutthroat perspective, not necessarily saying I believe that's correct or that's right morally, but to sit there and be like, well, from a business standpoint, they can be like, well, you can go elsewhere now and stream too. You're not tied to here. The 70-30 stuff made sense when those partners were tied to Twitch.
Yeah.
Like they were tied here. They can't go elsewhere to make money. They couldn't go anywhere else to do it. Now that they can go to all different other avenues and make money with TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube and stuff like that, and potentially make money there, it makes sense where they would be like, we don't have to do this 70-30 split anymore. Although what you're saying could possibly be correct is like, if you're already grandfathered in, you're grandfathered in.
So I'm trying to put on my big thinking cap for this. So if I feel that maybe them like partners not being exclusively streaming on Twitch, and they can explore different venues, and if they're noticing like an increase of okay, this person is now streaming on YouTube more or whatever platform,
the metrics of how long someone's on the platform,
then that's probably in the sense of where it's like, you know what, maybe we should start offering things where partners can now negotiate like a 60-40 splits, that we can try and get them to stream more on Twitch. So like the whole landscape is going to be wait and see. The only thing is they never, ever, ever, ever want to run it back, because the moment they run it back, that's where everyone jumps ship.
Right.
But in this, if they keep it to 50-50, like how they have it for affiliates, and see how the landscape shifts in the coming, I don't know, not even like months, but like maybe a couple of years, then they can see, okay, so what else can we do to try and encourage more streaming on Twitch? And I definitely think that, you know, increasing the sub split would definitely be like a good negotiating factor to, you know, incentivize them to do that.
I think what needs to happen, and I'm inclined to believe, in order for Twitch to survive now, they need to solidify their identity, and they need to market that identity. They need to reach YouTube status and level of marketing. And fix that problem, because that's the issue they have. Very few people, unless you're in the know about Twitch. You know. My mom is, 70 some odd years old, and she knows what YouTube is. She even knows what TikTok is. She has very little knowledge of what Twitch is, even though I did it for 5-6 years, and how it works. But she knows what TikTok. She picked TikTok up right off the bat, because the other thing that we're running into and Twitch has a problem with is the celebrities are on TikTok also.
Yeah.
No.
That's a huge problem Twitch has too, because as much as we don't want to believe it, celebrities drive traffic. Like Twitch would want somebody like a Kylie Jenner or a what's another young one? A Kylie Jenner, what's that guy? Harry Styles or someone like that. They would want somebody like that on Twitch, because that drives younger people traffic, and then they can get those people locked in for several years, subscribing, spending money on Twitch, etc., etc. That's a problem Twitch has.
My mom's even found TikTok.
Yeah,
my mom's literally, not only has she found TikTok, made an account on it somehow, but apparently she found one of my TikToks, and I went, well, kind of burn herself into the ground. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I think there's one thing, like one idea that I wanted to introduce, but like at the same time, if I introduce this, I have a feeling that like we're going to like make this podcast really long. So I might have to put this like as a note to discuss for next time.
Well, throw it out there before we'll end the topic on this, and let's throw it out there. Let's see where this goes.
So a big idea is YouTube is all like, not only do you have your live content, you have your pre-recorded content, yet it's gonna be edited. Everyone knows YouTube. TikTok, short form video, and just high discoverability. And Instagram, you have pictures, short form reels and videos, and the same thing, you can stream from there. And Twitch, right now, you don't really know. I mean, there's plenty of things you can do, but it is really hard to market yourself. So, but here's something that YouTube and TikTok and Instagram don't really offer, and that is interactivity, or better interactivity with the creator. So consider something like the concept of crowd control, but like less about affecting someone's game, but affecting someone's live stream. So if they had like a better interactivity and more ways to like better interact with the content creator better than any other platform other than just having your message read, that could be like a really important avenue that Twitch could explore. To be like, hey, do you want to be do you want to interact better with your favorite content creator in a way that you just never been able to before? Well, you can do so here at Twitch. Here's all the tools how.
Right. That works. That would make Twitch more interesting for the viewer to interact and watch with. But then again, how does Amazon continue to make money doing it this way? Here's the one thing I always thought was interesting, right? Now, I know there's things that make it difficult, like contract agreements and stuff that a specific streamer might have. But obviously, Amazon's goal is to sell product, right? I never understood why Twitch didn't work out agreements with big broadcasters to directly have products. So, like, you ever watch those YouTube videos? You see them a lot with people like Marcus or iJustine. They do like the tech for college 2022 type videos. Hey, we partnered with Best Buy. This is all the top tech you can get for your college year, right?
Yeah.
I never understood why, instead of just force feeding ads down people's throats, why did Amazon not make that more palatable in terms of like, hey, I'm big deal. This is, like, let's talk over some of my streaming setup, and it's almost like a live navigation of stuff and how it works. And, you're selling the product. If you want all this stuff, get it at Amazon below in these links. Streamer has the affiliate link, blah, blah, blah. They sell the product, right?
Okay.
Those kind of things. That's how Amazon can sell. This is what I never understood, why Amazon didn't do it this way. Because, most podcasts, we're not at that level yet, but most podcasts, the podcast host will read the ad aloud in the podcast. And it's not like an intrusive ad where it's like cuts off the podcast and there's volume and all that. So, it's not intrusive really. So I never understood why they never went this route. It would be hugely beneficial to have somebody big like a Pokimane, show these products that Amazon sells on so-and-so. It could be something as simple as like, hey, this air purifier right here, kind of thing. And like, you're selling the ad, but it's more it's more, less invasive. Am I too off base in thinking that, or is that a wild idea? Or
it's not a bad idea. The only thing that would probably put a pin in it is that it would have to be an Amazon-based product. It couldn't be just like different products that are sold on Amazon. It would have to be something like from Amazon, because otherwise Amazon would have to pay the company to advertise their products on a live stream, basically. So it could end up costing them more money.
It would probably have to come in the same vein as what is going to cost us very little to have this advertisement, and what can we do to incentivize having these ads that people can to get these products that is not only going to make us money, but also going to make our creators money, and want to keep them continuing to create content on Twitch.
Here's the other thing that's wild to me.
But also without chasing away viewers.
Right. Here's the other thing that's wild to me. I have no idea why Amazon did not integrate Alexa with Twitch.
Oh, dangerous. That's why.
Well, hear me out. So, like, let's say I come home. Hey, Alexa, put on Legend of Zenith on Twitch.
Ooh, that's me.
Right.
Hi.
And then your Twitch thing shows up on my TV or my phone or whatever I watch my content on, right? You know what? I really like Zenith's content. Hey, Alexa, subscribe to Legend of Zenith.
Yeah.
Tier 1. Boom. Sub sold.
I guess the only flaw with that is people in the chat that could possibly take advantage of that if they know what to do or know how to like activate Alexa remotely from just like a TTS kind of thing. a text-to-speech, because I've seen that before where, like, especially in the bigger content creators who don't have, like, a headset on, so their, like, speakers can play into their room. They've literally been able to, like, control their Alexa or their Google Cast or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, the average person sitting on a school bus isn't doing that.
No.
What are we laughing at?
Well, I'm just thinking, someone having, bedroom afternoon and someone's like, yes, Dummy Mommy, I'll be your sub today. Subscribing to Legends of... No, wait, no!
Yes,
I'll be your bot. I'll subscribe to your bot, Mommy. So don't subscribe to Legends Zenith. Oh, shit.
Yeah, but see, that's one of those wild things, like, I never thought why Amazon didn't do it.
Yeah.
At the very minimum, it should be like, hey, Alexa, turn on Legend of Zenith.
To be fair, has Amazon really supported Alexa recently? Like,
has what?
Alexa? I haven't seen Alexa be advertised on Amazon for a long time. Like, I don't know.
I think Alexa is just the portal to get into home automation. The real moneymaker is the Ring doorbell, the door lock, the lighting system like Philips Hue and stuff. That's where the real money is. But like Alexa's just the doorway to that. That's just the means to do it. So it's a bit interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess
we'll see what happens. Let's breeze through this one here real quick. And we'll look at this Twitch thing, in a couple weeks. I'm sure more news is going to come out in the next month or so when TwitchCon hits.
Sure, yeah.
We'll get more. Okay. Some people did some back-end legwork. We don't want to call them hackers, quote unquote, but some data miners have found signs of a Sony PC launcher built into Spider-Man for the Steam system. So, what it looks like is there is a whole platform there for Sony to basically do a launcher on PC for them to display their games, download their games, play their games, similar to the tune of a Bethesda launcher or an Epic Games launcher, etc. Basically works alongside like Steam.
Imagine like how much money Sony can make if they had their own version of Xbox Game Pass, but for PlayStation.
Well, they did one, but it just like they did one, but it fell flat.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
I don't know if you remember Zenith, but that's what that whole like plus and gold and silver tiers or whatever they had for PlayStation were just recently.
It was PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Extra, and PlayStation Plus Premium.
Well, but I mean,
clearly it wasn't good enough because you went without a whimper with you.
Why don't they put their games on? Have them optimized for PC? Like that'd be like absolutely fucking wicked.
So I
think about what you do with how making your games look so nice. Where it's like, all right, I have this like PlayStation 3 game. I'm just playing Uncharted. Let me just add a few textures on my PC, make it look like it's a PS4 game. Let's go.
I wish that was the case, but I think this is more along the tune of like, hey, we want you to go buy. We basically want a version of the Sony store on your PC to buy the games.
Yeah,
where I could see this benefiting. It's basically the idea would be to not sell them on Steam and sell them here on the PlayStation thing, which we've seen before with Activision, and we've seen it with Bethesda and stuff. Like having your own independent launcher does not work because people are so married to Steam. The only one that's still thriving, the two that are still thriving right now are Epic Games, but even then I think they're losing money because they keep giving games away for free.
Oh, I've gotten a lot of games from the
and then
store.
The other one that stands afloat really is EA Origin because you if you want EA, you get it on.
Well, here's the thing about EA Origin is that if you have the Game Pass on Xbox, you can connect it up with EA, and then you can literally get free games on EA Origin through like the Game Pass. Yeah.
So I think the cool thing about this is the one thing I wish, because if I could buy the Sony stuff and play it on PC and keep my trophies, I'd be all in. That's the thing, the achievement thing, the trophies. If this PC launcher thing actually happens and I can integrate the trophies and all of that kind of stuff into it, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't buy a PlayStation.
Yeah, like not just like synchronizing trophies, but also like game save data as well.
Yeah, game save data and all that kind of stuff would allow me to
cloud saving.
That way you can swap between. All right, today I'm gonna play it on my PC because I'm hanging out here doing some work, or it's like, you know what, I can chill on the couch today. Could have played on my PS5 out the living room.
Right. And that I think is probably the most. Do I think they should have the store to sell stuff? No, because that's just going to fall. People are married to Steam.
Yeah, it's going to fall flat.
And now you have this big elephant in the room with the Steam Deck. That makes that PC launcher on Sony even more difficult to pull off without a hitch, because one of the biggest benefits of Spider-Man was that it was Steam Deck compatible.
Yeah.
And people play Spider-Man on Steam. And on their Steam Decks. But the idea of synchronizing my trophies and everything, I would love it. I can go buy Last of Us Part 1 on the Sony PC store, and then it activates through there, and then my trophies and everything will synchronize to my PlayStation account. And that would be just glorious. We don't know much detail about this yet. They haven't made any official announcements of anything along those lines. But it was pretty interesting. If you look at the article, there was a photo of all the different games they've launched so far. They've launched 5 games on the platform so far for PC. Starting with Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone, Predator, God of War, and Spider. God of War, I'm going to imagine, is on PC when it launches. Pretty close. Maybe a year or two difference. But like Last of Us thing is probably going to be the same thing. It's going to be a year exclusive on PlayStation 5, and they'll get people
probably
on it. But I think Sony can do really, really, really well if they actually just embrace the PC market. Xbox did it, and it worked gangbusters.
And also, what Sony needs to do is bring Bloodborne to PC, remaster it.
Why that has not been? That has to be a contract thing.
It has to. From what I hear, it's something a studio problem, because I think Studio Japan helped make Bloodborne, and so they have like the hardcore development of like Bloodborne. I think it's something to do with that, because that company went bust, I think, a while ago.
Yeah. So it's a rights thing.
Yeah. So I think that's the issue. If Sony can somehow work past that issue, we could get Bloodborne remastered on PC.
Hopefully they get that worked out, because that's the one almost everybody wants. They want to play Bloodborne on PC.
I honestly thought, before the Spider-Man remaster was announced, when they said a classic from PlayStation was going on PC, I was like, Bloodborne.
But we'll see what happens with this thing. So let's spend the last bit of the podcast here. Let's talk about some Gamescom stuff. We kind of went off the rails on the Twitch thing, but we'll rewind it back here to the Gamescom stuff. So we'll kind of just go around the round table here and see what interests us. The one thing we'll put out in the air, how do you guys feel about the professional Sony controller that's attuned to Xbox's Elite controller?
That's basically what this is. It's their version of the Xbox Elite controller with extra buttons, a cool new little like coloring scheme. The thing that does interest me is the replaceable Joy-Cons.
The sticks, the replaceable sticks, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because something that's become recently is that recently people have been having drifting problems with their PS5 controllers. And it could be their answer to that problem. Because if there's a problem with the Joy-Cons, they could literally just like take rather than buying a brand new controller, buy a new set of Joy-Cons, unplug them, plug them into there, and then boom.
Yeah, the controller's alive and functioning again.
Yeah. So it's like a cheaper alternative to buying a new controller, is just buying new Joy-Cons. Plus also customizable Joy-Cons.
I feel like Zenith could benefit from one of these with the extra buttons, and you could cheat like for your speed runs and your randomizers and all that kind of stuff. I feel like this is something that would benefit you, Zenith.
Yeah, because
wait, do you use an Xbox controller for the Nintendon'ts?
Yeah, if I can find it. I actually went and got myself a new USB cable yesterday because it keeps disconnecting.
Oh, you're still on an Xbox One controller.
So essentially, what would happen is when I'm playing like an N64 controller, because you know how it has like just the C buttons and there's no like right analog stick.
Right.
Sometimes I use the right analog stick, and sometimes I'll like use like these two buttons right over here for two of the C buttons. But if I had extra buttons for the other C buttons, then it'll give me like plenty of options, because like there's different functionality where sometimes it's great if you use the right analog stick, and sometimes it's great if I just use it.
I tried doing it on like RetroArch or whatever with which is basically just an emulation locker for this
Oh,
stuff.
that's my favorite Nintendo right now.
Yeah, you know,
I just
for
used mouse and
modded
keyboard.
stuff, you know, to play modded stuff. But it works really well. But yeah, I've tried it with like where you do like the right analog as the C buttons or whatever, especially on GameCube. And it doesn't work quite as well because it obviously was designed for the C's to be buttons. Whereas if you get, they make one for Xbox. So like if you like the Xbox controller, you can get an Elite controller and it has those paddles on the back. So you can almost make the paddles on the back your C navigation. And then work that way, and then you can keep the front faces how you want it. Or vice versa, you can make the rear paddles B and A, and then you make your front buttons the C buttons. But, you know, I don't know did you catch a price on this thing?
There was no price reveal or release date, just that they are making it.
If it's anything like Xbox, I'm going to guess it's $199.
Most likely.
So when I was I was at Best Buy yesterday when I was downtown getting Korean barbecue, and there was some PlayStation controllers that said DualSense, but I don't think it said DualSense Edge. So like, what would be the difference?
The DualSense Edge is the upgraded controller. Like that is the Pro controller with the extra paddles and everything that they just announced. That's the Edge.
Oh, okay.
DualSense is the it used to be DualShock. Up till PlayStation 4, it was the DualShock, and then now it changed to the DualSense, and now DualSense Edge is the Elite version of that. They couldn't use the word Elite, obviously, so they went with Edge. You know, gamer's Edge.
The edginess of it.
Edge. You know, so, but that's that. I'm going to guess it's $200.
Probably.
Easy. Now, how much the parts cost, who knows? But... You know,
this got $200 for a controller. This is not me.
It's a lot.
No,
like, so let me see. Xbox Elite.
I think my new PS5 controller that cost me like 60 quid. I think
the PlayStation controller did go up in price with the new one. The new one is like $70 versus $60. Let's see. So MSRP was $180 for the Elite controller. So we're gonna guess it's gonna be around that price. So. Yeah, it's a lot of money for a controller, especially if you're just abusive on them and you beat the crap out of them.
Well, that's why I try and be careful.
Yeah. Who's really careful with these things, you know? They're throwing puns in the chat right now. How crumbly of you. We were talking about how Morgan doesn't eat toast. And now it's like
just make sure the podcast, those on Spotify and Apple Podcasts know that she doesn't eat toast.
Well, just like, you know, how crumbly. Okay. So what are some of the things you were excited about Gamescom here? Zenith expressed his interest in Gamescom during the break.
Oh wait, I gave you my answer. All right, there you go.
For those that are listening in audio right now, Zenith's just sitting here, mouth shut. So basically, he's saying in his fun way, nothing.
Nada.
There is one game that I did see. Where it looked like you could like manipulate sand. I completely forgot the name of it.
Is it on that list of that website I gave?
Yeah, it's like
I lost
like it's not the Dune MMO.
No.
Like,
is it Dune? Is it the Dune one?
No. It's like it's not Dune, but it's one where you can like manipulate sand to try and like forge like a path across. So like it looks cool. But it's I don't know, there's just something about it that just it's like if this is like the one game that like looks the most exciting, then because I took a look at another one, I think it was like Solstice, which at first glance it looked okay, this looks pretty cool, and then it's just like, well, it just looks like a really watered down Bayonetta, and I was just like or sorry, not watered down Bayonetta, but like Devil May Cry. So like obviously Devil May Cry, I know a few fans of the series, but it just didn't really interest me.
One of the ones that I think I'm going to be all in on this one when it comes is they showed that gameplay footage of the Callisto Protocol, which is that space horror looking, Dead Space looking thing. I think I'm going to be all in with this. It's like a mix of Doom and like Doom and Dead Space.
Yeah, it looks like doing Dead Space, and what's better is that the lead director in it was literally the head of Visceral Games, so he literally was the person who helped create Dead Space.
It's so violent, like you flung an alien into this meat grinder and blood flew everywhere, and I'm like, oh yeah, give me that mature rated.
How the recent gameplay demo literally shows a death scene for the character where he literally gets grinded up by a freaking giant fan.
Yeah,
like,
it's so
shit.
violent. I'm like, oh man, this one's gonna show up on like Capitol Hill again. These violent video games, you know, some guy's gonna go out and look for aliens and chop them up. It's all violent.
All you gotta do is just send them like gameplay of String. Just like press A to meow. Shut up.
A to meow. This is so violent.
Absolutely.
It's all meow and cats playing with each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, Callisto Protocol, the Dune one looked actually really cool.
The Dune one, there was a trailer though. The MMO itself will probably look a lot different because they like to make the trailers look different compared to the actual gameplay.
Yeah, they didn't really show much about with the trailer, did they?
The other big one we saw was they had the Gotham Knights footage. Is anyone excited for the Gotham Knights? Do we?
I'm interested, but I'm skeptical.
It's not Rocksteady. Rocksteady's doing a different game.
It's not Rocksteady. Yeah, exactly. I've been spoiled by Batman Arkham games. This is my problem. Like, the combat looks all right. The story could be pretty good. The characters are all very nice as well because they've confirmed Harley Quinn, Clayface, Penguin,
right?
Court of Owls are going to be the main villain in it. It's just not Rocksteady. I'm sorry. Like, it's just that case of like, yeah, it'll probably be an alright game, but it won't be a great, fantastic game like Rocksteady is doing. I'm more excited for the Suicide Squad game from Rocksteady than I am. That's the Rocksteady one that I'm more for Gotham Knights. I'll probably still pick up Gotham Knights. I'll play it. I'll see how it goes, and hopefully it does keep me interested, and I'll keep playing it all the way until the end. But I'm more excited for the Suicide Squad game than I am for.
How do you feel about Gotham Knights, Zenith? Did you play the Arkham games?
Yeah.
I will say this. It's a shame I missed out on the Callisto Protocol gameplay footage because I would love to see that. But anyways, that's my thoughts on Gotham Knights.
Honestly, you should definitely check out the Callisto Protocol stuff because like it is
because it looked really good.
No, that game looks great.
It's just I already lost interest in like the whole Gamescom thing, so I completely didn't realize they showed a Callisto Protocol.
So I honestly I have the same sentiments Zenith does about Gamescom. Like none of this I was really, really impressed with. None of this has got me going like, oh god, I gotta go pre-order now, which I mean rarely it ever happens. I gotta go pre-order this.
Out of interest for both of you, have either of you played Tales from the Borderlands?
That's the Telltale one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this too. Where it's
they revealed a trailer, not made by Telltale, but made by 2K and Gearbox. They're making a sequel to it called New Tales from the Borderlands. That could be good because the first one game, honestly, was really, really good. Like, it was a really well done storyline with a lot of twists and turns, introduced new characters, and they blended those characters into the other games pretty well. I think Borderlands 3 introduced those characters into the mainline games and stuff. And I think you even see a clip of one of the characters from the first Tale from the Borderlands in New Tales from the Borderlands, introducing a new company as well that's like in taking up the power vacuum left behind by the previous company that was like doing shit there. You know, it looks cool.
I think I don't know. Am I invested in it? Probably not. If it gets cheap, I'll probably pick it up. Kind of, it is like it's supposed to be people from Telltale that worked on this thing. One thing I want to get into because we wind this down is like there is I knew it was coming once Elden Ring took off, but there is a huge influx of open world combat medieval themed games coming.
Talking about Lies of P?
More than that, there was like 4 games that looked like this same platform in this same format. Like you're gonna get a bunch of Elden Ring clones.
Yes, probably
because Elden Ring did so well.
I just gotta really hope that they're actually any good, because like maybe like the one game that looked interesting, believe it or not, which surprised me, was the trailer for the new Genshin Impact update. And I'm someone that doesn't play Genshin Impact.
I don't play that either, but like it looked interesting.
Yeah, it did look interesting, but this is also like a trailer that they already previously showed.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're a Genshin Impact fan, then there's, you know, plenty of things for you to look forward to. It's just
out
still
of curiosity as well,
no.
before we wind down. What's your opinion about Sonic Frontiers?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Just where are you going to actually port Sonic Unleashed to PC? That's my thoughts and feelings on Sonic Frontiers. It looks okay, like in all honesty, but like it didn't. It's just your usual Sonic, where it's just like, they made an announcement. Oh, it's
it doesn't work. The idea, the thing that made Sonic great. Now, granted, this was all 2D Sonic I played, and I played very little of the 3D one. The thing that made Sonic great is like you zip through levels in 2D, and it's all fast and it looks cool, and you like fly through the air and all that kind of stuff. I have no interest in zipping and zooming through an open world as Sonic.
Yeah, I think it's like once they move to actual 3D to a 3D environment, where Sonic immediately adapted this like whole like bizarre anime feel, where it felt like more geared towards kids as opposed to it just, you know, for everyone, because like it really feels like I lose a few brain cells when I play newest Sonic games. And like the one that I didn't really get that was kind of Sonic Unleashed, because like I played Sonic Colors, that was all right, but some of the other ones just
Sonic Adventures 2.
It looks like a property that they just don't know what to do with anymore. They can't adapt it to anything that works. And I'm looking at this. Number one, when I looked at the trailer, none of it looks like it matches. I get what they're going for. They're going for this open world Breath of the Wild looking Sonic adventure, but like it doesn't look right.
Like they just have all these like random grind rails in the air, and it's just like
how's that floating up there?
Some Tony Hawk-esque Sonic grinding. That's what I want to do in my game.
Yeah, like Breath of the Wild, but grind rails.
It's so weird. It doesn't look like it matches. The world doesn't look colorful. It looked kind of drab.
Even the combat looks clunky.
Yeah.
And weird.
The latest trailer did look a bit better than the previous trailers, I will say that. But even then, I'm still not sure what's going on.
Yeah, it still fell into like the usual trap of Sonic, where it's trying to be like a goofy anime that you just can't take serious, or they're just trying to be like edgy for like no reason. Like shout out the Hedgehog.
There we go. That's what I'm about to say.
What was it?
Shout out the Hedgehog, the game. Bring it back.
I don't know what it is. They're like throwing stuff at the wall to see.
Swore.
Yeah, they're throwing it at the wall to see what sticks, and it's not working. I don't have an interest in it.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about the Harry Potter game?
Meh.
Are we not sold on Harry Potter?
No, I'm not really.
Is it political reasons too? Does that kind of have some of it?
Mixture of that, and because of like the opinions of the creator, my love for Harry Potter died.
That's fair enough.
I don't exactly like even if you try and put aside, the
political
aspect
of it,
the ship, the human ship bucket that designed this franchise, but just like how like it's the story is like who are like the real villains, and like this is just not right. Like it was very tone deaf, and you thought that because like it's getting away from mixed ship bucket, that like it'll be better, but it hasn't learned a thing, and I just don't feel comfortable being interested. And like,
I hear
like even if you try and look into the game itself, it's just there's just too much I just need to try and ignore. Concept wise, it does look good. It looks pretty beautiful. The aesthetic is great because Hogwarts is like a fantastic looking place, It's just,
and there's so much you could do with it, but
they could have executed this way, way better.
I think it's one of those things too, where it's like you said, it's one of those things like right now, there's too much surrounding the atmosphere of it for you to sit back and enjoy it and zone it out. I think there's too much going on, and the more that person keeps opening their mouth and saying what they say, it's just going to surround this game and this franchise even more, and it's just not gonna
even then it's not about her. It's the fact that like the enemy the big boss of the game apparently is like some goblin, but like at the same time they've been what's the word, like discriminated against, and basically like he's having like some kind of rebellion, and it's up to you to put him down. I was just like, what, this
that doesn't sound right.
Like, at a time like this, like, this isn't the right thing to be doing.
Yeah, this is not. I didn't even know the story was that far in.
Evil, if it was just like another wizard that wanted to experience with dark arts, all right, okay, let's go. Let's fuck him up. Let's go.
Right.
But no, they had to like make the main villain the goblin. It's like, could you really do anything else?
Nah, okay. Yeah, that ain't cool. The other thing I'm noticing now is the Dead by Daylight trend is really taking off with all these like horror survival like.
They talk about killer clowns from outer space, the video game.
If you don't know, majority of these listeners are probably very young. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is an 80s horror movie, like comedic horror type of film. That's kind of a cult classic, and now they've turned it into a video game, which blows my mind. I don't know where they got the idea that Killer Clowns from Outer Space was a horror property to work with.
It's the same devs as Friday the 13th. Because they're not allowed to work on that game anymore due to like copyright issues. One of the original like creators. They decided to obviously move on to something else, and what better thing to do than go to a typical B type.
You don't know who owns the rights of the property.
Exactly.
To it.
Yeah.
But like
play a bit safer, but also have a bit of fun.
All right, so we'll wind this down here now that we've got some Gamescom. Now we kind of know the landscape for the rest of the year. And then, obviously we'll talk about this when we get to the end of the year. So, like, what do you think you guys are going to round out the rest of your year with? We pretty much know what's coming.
I think you can probably guess my answer.
Well, you're going to do God of War, I'm going to guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll probably do God of War. I'm going to do The Last of Us. What do you think you're going to round out your year with this year, Zenith?
Well, I'm hoping to get a bit of money because I would love to get Last of Us as well, but like I need to get myself a PS5.
Yeah.
But as far as that, I don't really know. Yeah. Because like I like the things that I'm looking forward to are like year 2, and even then that's like at this moment is Breath of the Wild 2.
Which we have no idea when that's coming out.
Yeah. Maybe Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah,
Pokemon I'm going to be into for sure.
Yeah, I think Callisto's next year, right? Did I miss
Callisto Protocol? Nope, December.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think my year's going to round out with Callisto and Last of Us and maybe God of War. I think those are
basically get yourself Callisto Protocol on like December 24th. Like, ho ho ho, Merry Murder Miss.
Well, it comes out on the 2nd of December, so literally you could buy it and then like play it on Christmas Eve.
Nice, just kill everything in its sight. Yeah,
exactly.
It's such a weird year. There's nothing really that's like. I mean, in the games that we did want this year, we already got them.
Yeah,
like they're done. Like Elden Ring and Horizon and.
Elden Ring was my game of the year, and I got it. I played it, and it definitely is.
Yeah. So.
Yep, it is. It still is, and like I don't think nothing against God of War, but I don't think that it's gonna be enough to. I don't think Elden Ring is going to like really shake the games that are going to come out in the next like 5 or 6 years.
It's already started. Like I said, there's already a huge influx of open world, medieval-esque looking content. And now that we've got Game of Thrones back in the mix with that prequel on HBO and all that kind of stuff is going to start gearing towards it. Speaking of which,
people are going to be on a medieval fix.
Speaking of which, if you haven't seen it yet on YouTube, HBO launched like a trailer of their upcoming stuff, and they did show some footage of The Last of Us TV show
I did
in that
see
trailer.
They did?
Yeah.
They did. Yep.
Look up the trailer on YouTube there.
They literally took a line from the game and put it in the trailer. Yeah.
They showed the snow, the snow scene from the game and stuff like that. It looks good. It looks promising. We'll see what happens when we actually get there, though.
I hope it's good.
It's HBO. If this was like Netflix or Amazon touching it, I'd probably be like, no. But it's HBO.
And it's also the people who worked on the Chernobyl series,
Right.
which that one really was well done.
Yeah.
So
As much as I'd say like HBO usually is a pretty safe bet in terms of shows. They're usually a pretty safe bet.
It's also important to remember the whole landscape of Last of Us, where it's a very personal series and one that you can believe in the characters. And just like the overall setting, it'll be a lot easier to pull off as opposed to trying to do like Mario or Sonic live action. Though Sonic movie was
that
actually
train wreck.
But like anything else, it'd be really tough for like Last of Us is just like primed to like actually do rather well. Even if it's not brilliant, it's at least going to be decent, I feel.
Yeah, it'll be at least watchable. They canceled, if you guys didn't know, they canceled that Resident Evil one after one season.
Oh no. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh no. Whatever will we do? Watch something else. What a turd that was. But yeah, the RE one was canceled. But yeah, Last of Us is looking good. But yeah, it's gonna be a slow year. Next year, hopefully, we'll pick up and we'll have a lot more stuff to talk about. The reason it's weird as I'm talking about like the rest of the year is if you look at the calendar, we've only got 6 episodes left, I think, give or take.
Something like that. Yeah.
4. It's gonna be. I would say roughly 4 because I know most of us are going to take time off for the holiday.
Yeah.
So we'll probably close out in November, and then December will be kind of We'll probably because Game Awards are when?
The start of December normally, I think.
Yeah, so we'll probably close out at the Game Awards for the year, and then
I think Nintendo will have one big direct, and
they have to.
They're saying September.
Absolutely,
they need to because like their lineup is looking. I mean, like yes, they're primed for like this fall with them Pokemon and
that's all. Bayonetta 3 as well.
Yes, and Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
But I think this upcoming direct, they need to talk more about what's coming for Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild 2, and they need a couple of title announcements.
There's no Zelda, there's no Mario, there's nothing for the holiday. There's no Metroid Prime for the holiday. There is no Prime Nintendo property for the holiday, as far as I can tell. And Pokemon doesn't count because it's not necessarily a Nintendo first-party property.
No, it's Game
But
Freak.
anything from the core Nintendo, we don't have anything. I mean,
we have like the Mario Kart updates. Like there should be at least one more.
But that's not going to sell Switches. That's not going to get people to the store to buy Switches.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So like they need to do something like the announcement of like imagine like did you play Super Mario 3D World, Dill?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
Oh, such a fun game. That was my favorite one.
If they did like a game that's kind of takes the concept of Bowser's Fury, but like made a full-on game with that, think of how good that'll be.
That'd be pretty insane.
I'd be down for that.
They need something.
I don't exactly want like Mario Odyssey 2 because like
no, I want a Metroid Prime. I want a Metroid Prime 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I still need to play Metroid Dread at this point. So
somewhat Pow in the chat just said Overcooked 3. That'll get everyone to the store to buy a Switch. The Overcooked Splatoon doesn't do it enough. I don't think Splatoon sells Switches like they think it does.
They are hosting that free weekend this weekend, I think, for the game, the Splatfest, where you can play Splatoon 3 like for the weekend.
Yeah, but Splatoon, it's their property, but it doesn't like. I don't know why they even did a Splatoon like Switch. They did a Splatoon OLED, and I'm like,
because they can.
Does it sell that much? Like, that's going to be one of those rare ones that's going to be crazy expensive when it drops or falls off the map. But they need something. Zenith's completely right. They need something because I don't know what to buy Nintendo this year, if anything.
Yep, that's why I'm speedrunning Mario 64 because I got nothing else to do.
That's literally in my case. Bayonetta 3 and Pokemon were the only two things I think I'll buy left from Nintendo, and that's it.
Yeah, so on that front, we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. That would be September 13th-ish?
10th?
10th. I was
10th,
close.
yeah.
September 10th. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm Eric Anthony. We got Big Dill, and we got Legend of Zenith. As always, gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us this week. Those of you in the chat, we appreciate you. You can find this on Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. ! Social media in the chat if you want to go ahead and find all the TikTok and all that good stuff, which we'll start getting content up on soon. And then the YouTube channel will start getting dressed up. We're working on it. And then hopefully all this goes a lot smoother next year once everything's in place. And then we can, roll out more content for you guys. But guys, as always, I appreciate your insights. You guys are always great to have here. And I enjoy these conversations. This is probably one of the most fun I've had in a podcast, like doing any kind of podcast in a while.
Oh, thank you.
It's fun just sitting with your friends and talking about games, and then wild stuff just comes out of our mouths, like shit basket and
Excalibur.
I would have never guessed you dated someone that worked in medieval times. But like now that I think about it, that's so fitting for you. It's so fitting.
Zenith's the legend. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, it's so fitting for someone like you. It fits. Yes. It works.
Yes, we're not dating because I decided to live out my Highlander fantasies. There can only be one.
There can only
be one. Good stuff. All right, guys. We'll see you all again very, very soon. You guys have a great afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
Yeah, and you. Bye.